Here we go. Here we go. Now that's gangster. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What up? What up? What up? Yo, what's going on? It's your boy. It's Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. You know what time it is? It's the No Man Fantasy Football Podcast, baby. Yes, and you're saying to yourself, Mitch, Mr. What Up, man? Where is everybody? Well, people, sometimes you just got to do things on your own, right? Hold on a second. I got to get myself situated. What up, Alone? What up, baby? Welcome to the building. Now, we got some people running late. Got some people that can't make it tonight. You know what I mean? You know, you got to do stuff on the fly. That's what we do here at the NoMaam Nation every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. You know what time it is. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Whether there's people here or not, I got a lot to say. I'm talking about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about your boy. I got a big announcement to make. You have something really cool that you guys will really, really like. We got basketball, baseball, football. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know what people always complain. We got no football. Bah. Stop it. Stop the complaining. Stop the whining. You know what I say? So Mr. What Up? You can see it. Yeah, that's pretty fly behind me. You got to admit. Thanks to me. I did that. I made that. That was all me, people. You want a logo like that? You want something cool like that? Show to your grandchildren or your wife, your side piece, and all those in between. We got one of the stragglers showing up right now. You know this guy's face. Ugly guy over here. He got his government name up there. Got to put his show name up there. I do everything around here, man. But yo, shout out to the NoMaam Nation, baby. Shout out to my boy Wes handling his business. Shout out to the family. We love y'all.
Man.
Yo, the Queen's in the building. NoMaam Queen's in the building. Kelly holding down the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna.
What's up, Mitch? You doing all right today, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I need to. I'm gonna have to get a visual from you, man. You're not showing up on the screen. You know what I mean? I don't know when you.
I got you. Hold on, just
you doing on that video, man.
You feel me?
There we go.
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about.
We here, man.
We are here.
Y'all gotta excuse me right now, okay? I'm in the process of still driving. I just didn't want to leave my man Mitch up here by himself right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
So. That's love, man. And speaking of love, listen. We got some people down this week. We got Austin out there at the Hornets game. He's probably depressed because the Hornets suck. So I don't know, So shout out to Austin. I hope you're all right, Snow. Just know that our prayers are with you and your whack ass Hornets team. Shout out to my man Jay Curbs. Jay Curbs is down this week, not feeling too well. I think he ate one too many pies at Pizza Hut. Now, I'm only fucking with you, Jay Curbs. You're my guy. Look, take care of it, man. You know what I mean? We shout out to Wes, taking care of the family, as always, doing his thing. So we got Drew's going to join us here in a bit. You're here with me. I don't know what happened to Reese. He's on the road, I'd assume. Maybe he ain't got no, Wi-Fi or whatever. But listen, it's always the NoMaam Nation. Shout out to Bro. Shout out to Cinco Seis. Shout out to Carlos, my man, the Sultan. Shout out to the whole NoMaam world, man. That's old man Matt. What up, Matt? Wes, why are you asking questions I'm not ready to answer? We'll answer them in a minute, all right? Yeah, that's why I wasn't Stone Cold at WrestleMania. I don't know, Wes, and we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But always shout out to the nation. Listen, nations always stay strong. Nation, we need your prayers tonight, nation. Nation, we got a lot going on, nation, and we need the prayers. So pray up right now for your boys. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff going down. Good stuff, too. You want to hear some great stuff, though, Mr. Stino?
What's that, man?
Let me give you your proper dues. How about that? Let me do that first. I've been working on this, just so you know. Yeah, I'm serious. Listen. This is the man. And no matter what he needs to do, he comes through. You may know what you think, and you may think what you know, but there's one thing you're not. Is that's my dog Stino.
Yes, sir.
That shit was tight right there. Come on.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
I had to go back to the vault for that one. But no, yo, welcome, Stino. As always, my right hand man. As y'all know, we've been sneaking Stino into the podcast.
Little bit, man.
Just get a little sprinkle right there. You know, making sure that you get enough of him, right? But I just need a couch and a bed. Yo, alone, I got an extra room. Come stay with your boy. I'm just saying.
He just right up the street, man.
I mean, just right up the block, make a left, take 2 rights, go about 600, 700 miles. You're right there, man. I mean, fuck it. Who cares, man? Yo, I'm in a good mood. Stino, next Wednesday, your boy turns 51.
Oh, it's a.
I'm just saying. I heard 51's the new 25.
It's a real one's holiday, man. It's a
I'm
real
just
one's
saying.
holiday.
I heard banks are closing in Dubai because of me. It's a national holiday out there. Hey, you want to hear really bad? You want to hear really bad? Since I mentioned Dubai, you want to hear a really bad dad joke?
What's that? Let's hear it, bro.
So what's the diff? Okay, no. Oh, what are they? What don't they like in Dubai that they love in Abu Dhabi? Wait, no, hold on. I didn't say that right. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say it right. Hold on. I butchered the joke, but hold on. I'm gonna get it right. Hold on. Oh, what's the difference of opinion in Abu Dhabi and Dubai and Abu Dhabi about the Flintstones?
What's that?
Abu Dhabi don't like it, but I'm sorry. Dubai don't like it, but Abu Dhabi do. You know, I'm sorry. I messed it up.
It was okay, bro. That wasn't bad.
Wow. See, now I got Jared. Look, see, Jared can make the podcast face to face tonight. But then what does he do? He throws shade on the podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Are you getting cigarettes? Let me get a pack. Newports.
No, man. You know I had to get the cigars.
Yeah. We don't talk about that here, but hey, shout out to that company. Shout out to our sponsors. Hey, now I don't have the guys on the show. I'm going to get real disgusting with it. Shout out to our sponsors. First, in the NC Comedy Zone in Charlotte, North Carolina. You want to laugh your ass off? Best place to go. They got great wings. They got good food out there. Great drinks, great people, great comedy, great time. Bring the wifey, side piece, grandma.
Not the side piece. Dang,
or maybe the side piece and her side piece. May have a good night that night.
Both of y'all bring your side piece.
Exactly. Just bring as many side pieces as you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
And listen, if you want a discount, you're not going to get one, but just when you walk in, say, NoMaam sent me. You may get a free water. I'm just saying. And if it happens, it's good. And shout out to my man, Dr. Drains.
I give you a free.
Well, no, you get free ranch if you say NoMaam Fantasy Sports. I'm just saying. Shout out to my man, Dr. Drains. Listen, there's a lot of single moms out there, Stino, that,
it is a whole lot of
right. They get plumbing problems, and there's no man in the house, and they may not know how to use a plunger, and they need their pipes cleaned. Call my man, Dr. Drains, man. He got you. Well, look, we're here for the people. We're here for the ladies, for the fellas. Ooh,
everybody.
Speaking of ladies and fellas, listen, NoMaam alert. I have a good information. Ready? There was a new song released this weekend by MC Light. Guest star on the song, Big Daddy Kane. Check it out. I'm just saying.
Wow, they trying to come back. Huh?
Okay. Oh, it's fire! It's fire. The beat's fire. The lyrics are fire. So yeah, go check that out on Spotify. I assume it's on Spotify. I don't know. I listen to it. So
I'm
I
more
do.
of an Apple Music guy myself, but
Well, because you're part of the Apple clan, you know what I'm saying? So you're kind of
yeah,
obligated.
yeah,
You're kind of obligated. Me, I rock with the androids. I'm like R2D2.
yeah.
I know you.
Ain't
I
nothing
know you're
wrong with
checking.
it, man.
I know
Ain't
you're
nothing
checking out the
wrong with it.
hat. I know you're checking out the hat, and you say it doesn't say NY, right?
Oh
Mitch,
man.
Mitch, not rocking a Yankee hat. Still rocking a baseball hat. I'll get my Bruce Arians on. Um, old
What
school
team is that?
since
The Reds? That's the Reds hat?
yeah, that's an old school Cincinnati Reds hat, man.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call. Oh, God, the chat's blowing up tonight.
I can
Um,
rock with the Reds, man. I like Ellie De La Cruz, bro. I like
yeah,
Ellie De La
dude.
Cruz.
Someone when I was a teacher, well, I was a facilitator at the local cable plant. I'm not giving you a shout out because your fucking service sucks sometimes. Uh, but thanks for giving me free cable and free internet for 12 years, you bastards. Um, one of my students knew I was always rocking hats. Like I walk in every day with a hat. I don't give a shit, right? Like I'm a hat guy. I'm going outside smoking a cigarette. I'm chucking a hat on. I need the dome covered, man. You never know what's gonna hit the dome. I keep it covered, man.
Never.
And so he's
Not
like,
only
"You."
that, not only that, but all the heat leaves out of your body through your head anyway, man. You gotta
Well, I'm
stay
gonna be
calm.
honest with you too, Stino. Fuck it. I mean, fuck all the bullshit. I look sexy in a hat. Chad, I
Okay,
mean, you can't
okay,
deny
okay,
that either. Every week you say like,
okay.
yeah, what's with your boy? You know, that's
You
just me.
said you said you gotta turn the sexy up a little bit,
I'm
huh?
just saying, man.
Okay.
I don't know how to shut it off. Maybe when I take the hat off, it shuts off. So that's why I keep the hat on.
Hey,
Hey, sometimes I wear hats at night to sleep just to make my dreams better. Better recognize.
oh,
Anyway,
hey, little dream catcher, bro.
you know. Anyway, getting back to the nitty gritty of it all. Stino,
Yes, sir.
I got a bone to pick with you,
Okay.
Drew, Cinco Seis, Snow, Jared, Betts, and Mr. West over there.
Oh, so you got a bone to pick with the whole
Everybody,
NoMaam Nation, I
the
guess.
whole
Okay.
No Man's podcast crew.
Okay. All right, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. Lay into me. Pause. Pause.
Yeah, pause. You get the first pause of the night.
I did, didn't I? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
Everyone do the dance. Everyone do the dance. All right. Listen, I'm going to say something to you guys. I'm going to say it to you in the nicest way that I could say it. And by the way, that's a hell of a logo. Who did that shit for you? Oh,
I
that
don't
would be
know,
me.
man. There's some dude that runs a fucking podcast, bro. Not only does he run a podcast, but he does a pretty damn good job of making logos too, bro. So
Pretty fucking talented, if I say so myself. Listen, I want us to steer away. Let me not get distracted and steer away from why I'm pissed off at my entire posse that says they have my back, that they say they love me, that they say they're my crew. And if you're all listening right now, I know two of you are in the chat, Mr. West and Mr. Curbs. Shout out to my daughter, she just got home. And I'm talking to you because you're face to face with me. Well, you're off camera right now. I
no,
understand.
I'm here. I promise, I'm here.
No, I got you. No, I got you. And Drew, if you're listening, Cinco, turn up your hearing aid. Snow, I know you're not doing anything at the Hornets game. You better be watching the fucking podcast because the Hornets are trash. You better be watching the podcast instead of stupid Hornets. Road Reese, I'm mad at you too. When we first started talking about before, and I'm going to preface by saying before March Madness started,
Yep.
we did the bracket online, and then I started a bracket on Yahoo. Oh no, ESPN. Sent it out to everybody. I know Kirby sent it out to everybody. I know everyone talked about joining, but none of you suckers joined.
Yeah, I didn't, man. I didn't. I'm sorry. I
Suckers.
apologize. I
Suckers.
apologize. I'm not even gonna sit up
You're
here and
lucky.
try to.
But you're lucky. You guys are lucky. Because you know why?
Why
Because
is
I
that?
won. I won.
It makes sense. It makes
I mean,
sense. We had to.
your Purdue, what are they, Boilermakers over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do. They lost. They felt the wrath. Go UConn.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, you can't
Hmm.
expect much, bro. When you got one guy that scores 37 points and the rest of the team scores a whopping 12 or some shit. Ain't
Well,
much
hold
you
on.
can do.
I'm gonna go down the line. You ready? So I just made fun of your Boilermakers. Hey, those corn kicking Nebraska Huskers, guy, they got dropped out pretty fast. Sucker
Yeah, for real,
asses.
man.
A Tar Heel. Clean your fucking foot, Tar Heel. How about that? Get the tar off your heel. Have a regular heel like the rest of us. You blue devil. Why don't you be a blue god? You got to be devil. You got to be angry and mad all the time. A wolf pack. What's a pack of wolves? I ain't scared of no pack of wolves. You see the guy on TikTok? He'll tell me how to beat up a pack of wolves. Punk ass wolves. Who am I leaving out? No, Snow likes okay. I got Duke. I got UNC. Shout out
Who's
to my
Bet's
Florida
team?
Gators. Who?
Who's Bet's team?
Bets whoever you like. They suck too. How about that?
I think you covered pretty much everybody.
I think I got everybody. Okay. But hey, shout out to UConn. Shout out to
Facts.
UConn. Back to back championships. They looked good. I mean, yeah, they had some bumps in the road during the regular season where they didn't look dominating. But Cino, we talk about that. Can we talk about that though? So let's put on my serious face. So we've talked about this all the time, right? So now that they won two in a row, two back-to-back national championships.
Yep.
I don't know off the top of my head how many seniors they have. Maybe one of you guys out there in Twitch land or on YouTubeville, wherever you're from. No cap, we love you. Did I use that right? No cap. I don't think I used that right. No cap.
I don't think you did, but it's okay.
I don't think I used that right. I'll
we'll
have
teach
to make,
you, man. We'll teach
I'll make up for it. No, I know how to use it. I just I'm old, man. I have
brain fart.
It's
a brain fart. It's all right.
Right. So, but we talk about this shit all the time where, a team that has the success like that, right? They get extra scrutinized. Right. So again, I don't know how many seniors they got leaving, how many juniors are going to leave, or whatever the case may be, but there'll be some turnover on that team.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But if they lose one game, it's not the same UConn. Husky, they're terrible. They're nowhere. They lose one game, or they only win by 14, or they only win by 10. It's like, oh my God. Like, when are we as fans, when are we satisfied, I guess you could say, as far as, listen, you're not going to always do this great. Now, I will say this. In the tournament, I think their average win was like 25 or 26 points.
Oh yeah, they dominated.
They dominated. They dominated the tournament. I mean, it wasn't even close. Come here now. Biatch is in the house. What's up, Biatch? I hope your CFS is getting better. You have. Look, he has terminal, and so every week.
No, not
every week. I gotta
CFS.
check on him, man. I gotta check on him every week.
CFS, man.
Yeah, man. So.
Hey, we are sorry for all of you guys that got terminal CFS in the chat, bro, or if you know anyone that has terminal CFS, we are still trying to work hard and we're trying to dedicate a whole lot to trying to find a cure for the incurable CFS. So
it's hard.
Dude, just stick in there. Just stick in there.
And you know what adds to the non-curable disease of CFS? The shit we just talked about. Like, okay. I'm going to shift to the NFL real quick. There he goes. My guy. I don't know if you were listening, but I have to tell you, the shade I just threw at everybody, I have to throw at you as you come in. Listen. Yes, you, sir. We started that NoMaam bracket, and you didn't join, and I won. So I made fun of all your teams, so I'll make fun of your team to your face. Why do you have to have tar on your heel? Clean it off. Be a normal human being. Get a magic eraser. All right. I heard that. Right. I'm only kidding. You're right. But so we're talking about curing CFS and the non-cure of it, whatever, and a lot of it has to do with, like UConn right now. We won 2 in a row. Right. Next year they're going to be super scrutinized if they don't win by more than 10 points every game, or they happen to lose a game, or, something that doesn't go right, even though they're going to be losing, seniors and losing juniors, and having some sort of turnover or other teams getting better. Calipari, where's he going? Like,
I think Arkansas.
Arkansas. I think it was Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's us as fans, right? So, Drew, you and I, and Stino and Curbs and everybody, we're always talking football, right? That's like our mainstay, and we go into basketball. And I think this is going to be healthy. What we could do is we could hit all three major sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, four, and not so much. I mean, basketball, football, baseball, right? So let's start with football because that's where we all met, and that's where this all started. And I do a lot of thinking about, how we criticize and why we criticize, and does our criticizing per se make us hypocritical? Does it make us haters? Like what's the outlook on that, right? So Brock Purdy, he's not your quarterback, he's not my quarterback, right? But from a fan's perspective, we got to say Brock has done his thing for the last year and a half.
Solid.
Okay.
Solid.
But the moment you say that, where he's done his job and he's had success, where you don't use the word great in front of certain fans or fan base, they lose their mind.
Or elite. They like that word.
Or elite.
Thank you, Stino. Thank you.
Okay.
Elite. That is the new cliche word when we describe players.
Well, here's another one for you, Drew. I'm going to hit home for all of us here in a second, right? I'm going to hit home for all of us here in a second.
Around my head.
Dallas, same thing.
Be able to see.
Dak Prescott was on a MVP chase for the majority of the entire season. Right? But Dak being Dak in the playoffs, threw an early interception, early pick six. Defense got deflated because they were on the field the whole time. And then you got just trying to throw to one guy the whole game. But if you say something like, if you make that point about Dak, the Cowboy fans lose their mind because they don't see what we're seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why in order for you to be on this podcast, you can't have CFS. You have to be understanding and you have to be like level-headed about everything, right? So I'm going to hit home for me first. My boy just got paid. Let me just say paid. He got the coinage. He got some cheddar. He got that guap.
That Jerry Maguire show.
He got that money. Show me the money. Who's coming with me? Right? And motherfucker goes down with an injury. Right? So I'm not going to sit here and say that Joe Burrow's injury history and current and history doesn't scare me. Of course it does. I don't work. Hey, disclaimer, I don't work for the Bengals, so I don't make those decisions.
He lying. He works for the Bengals.
Part-time.
Low key. But my thing is like these if I make the statement in a live on TikTok, right, for instance, that the Bengals are going to win Super Bowl next year if Joe Burrow stays healthy, I'm considered a homer. I sat there and watched somebody make that statement. That was not me. That's not even a Bengals fan. Make that statement, and then I got singled out, and be like, "Oh, you must be Mitch's butt buddy." What?
Hey, yo, pause.
Because I'm a Bengals fan? Because I believe that if Joe Burrow's healthy, he's maybe top 2 quarterback in the league.
I'd agree.
We've beat the number 1 quarterback in the league. So fuck it. When Joe Burrow's healthy, he's the best quarterback in the league and we're the most dangerous team in the league. I said it. That's a homer statement. That doesn't mean I have CFS, because I do understand that if Joe Burrow goes down, we're screwed. If
So
we
I,
if we don't fix what we got going on in the wide receiver room right now, we're screwed.
I think people confuse CFS and Homer, I'm not going to say syndrome, but like, being a
Right.
Homer, they confuse the two, right? Because like I consider myself a Chicago Bear Homer, right? I was on the Keep Justin bus, right? Um, you know, big on that, right?
And people said you had CFS for that shit, which is stupid.
Thank you, right? But when looking into the metrics of it, right? It's like I'm thinking about what best works for the team, right? Um, a lot of people like flying at the seat of their pants when it comes to talking sports. And
Yeah, I'm not
TikTok
that.
has TikTok has shown me that, right? Whether you're a homer, you got CFS, or you're just the die hard over the top, shout out to my boy Young Kansas, right? Like, Young Kansas, right? Like,
What's up? Shout out to Young.
shout out to Young, right? So it's like you come off you jump out the window head first with some of these takes, right? And it's like, damn, I can see some context in it, but is it that crazy? Is it that serious? Is it really gonna work? So the confusion of it all with a lot of people, and defining it in what we see, like so many casual takes.
Oh,
And it's funny because when it's pointed out by a guy like you, me, Stino, Jared, uh, bro, anybody, Alone, any of the guys, right? And even some of the females in the lives, like, um,
shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly.
Kelly,
Shout out to
right?
Barbie.
Like Barb
Like a
and all of them,
boss.
like a boss, like all those
She's
females that
dope. Dope. Shout out to
know
dope.
dope, yep, like that know the sport and know how to divide being the super casual fan to the person who just knows the game, right? You see where the lack of knowledge comes in for the sport, what's best for your team, and it's just funny to me. So like I just don't get it. Some people are weird when it comes down to it, bro.
Right.
They
And,
definitely do.
thank you for segueing into Justin Fields, because I feel the same way. I don't have CFS, but I look at it like this. If they did him dirty, and if you don't see that, you have CFS, you have beyond terminal, you have 2 hours to live, straight up and down. You're done.
Gonna turn into a zombie.
Right. Because look at it from this perspective. If next year, let's say they bring in Caleb, right? And I'm not expecting. I wish the man well. I do. I wish whatever team Caleb goes to, and team any of these kids go to, I wish them well. Unless you go to the Steelers, Browns, or Ravens. But anyway, mediocre at best. Well, to everyone else. If they don't succeed and Justin Fields comes in and he does succeed for the Pittsburgh Steelers, then everyone that doubted what you and I said, I have 2 words for you. Baha. A baha. That's
So
the word.
I was talking to my barber last week about that because he's always asking me about the Justin Fields thing, football. We talk when I go get my cut. So he said, what's the benchmark for Caleb? I said, oh, that's simple. The benchmark is he has to win more games than Chicago did with the two quarterbacks that they had playing last year.
Valid.
And I'm not talking about, skimming one and winning 8. They got to win the division.
Right.
If they don't win the division, I'm sorry. Caleb is just as equal to what Justin and Tyson Bagent did last year.
Right.
Now, granted, he can throw for 3,000 yards. He can probably lead the league in touchdown passes or whatever you want, whatever metric you want, percentage, whatever. Right? However, those individual qualities, if they don't translate to wins for the Bears, it's not going to mean anything. As a fan, right? As a person who watches the game, it won't mean a single thing. And
right.
That's just what it has to be. Looking at it that way, right? So for that measure, that's what the bar is. That's what the benchmark is. That's what
Okay.
the
Well,
line is.
and that's valid. One of our cohorts, Jared Curbs, in the chat right now.
He got the cooties or something. Why he in the chat?
Yeah, he got something. Well, you got.
You got pink eye.
he got big eye. No, he's having a rough go at it. We'll
Stink eye.
Shout out to Jared
Curbs.
Curbs.
He goes, the only two quarterbacks I question that people are high on in regards to the NFL is Herbert, because his rookie season, and Kyler Murray because of his MVP like season, and that is valid.
Kyler Murray MVP like season. What season we talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was his first year, if I'm not mistaken.
First or second year.
I think that was his first year with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes, his first year with Hopkins. He had a pretty. He did light it up. I'll give him that. Give him that.
Okay, but he fell off a major cliff.
But just like the sport we're about to talk about next, and there's a one commonality that someone you're talking to at CFS, and we'll circle it back around. Basketball. I'm going to leave baseball for last. Basketball. We have gone on and on about this. And by the way, just so you guys know and prepare yourself, we will be speaking about WrestleMania here very shortly. Oh yeah, let's go. The story continues. Anyway, basketball. We've talked about this in length, and if you did not see somebody play the game of basketball, you cannot say they were garbage or they were not. I mean, unless you sat there and watched video after video, hours, and dedicated your life to that shit. Okay, which means you either work at ESPN or one of the major networks or whatever. I don't want to hear, I spent 14 hours watching YouTube videos. Whatever, jackass. You have CFS. Shut up. Okay. What you never hear out of you want to know something funny? I noticed this, and Stino and Drew, I'm going to let you guys go on about this because you know more than I do about it. But what I've noticed that whenever someone says that Jordan is better than LeBron, never once do you hear a Jordan fan say LeBron's garbage. But when you hear a fan talk about LeBron being better than Michael, you always hear, he couldn't hold a stick to Michael. He was good compared to Michael. He's like, Steve Kerr and stuff, whatever. Like, CFS your ass away from my face because it's crazy. Drew, take on the CFS, sort of like what we just talked about in the NFL, right?
Stino can attest to it. I mean, being, like I said, the TikTok realm of sports, bro, that Jordan, and I think I'm with Stino on this one when I can honestly say for the life of me, if I had to roll a dice and it was like, you're talking about LeBron and MJ and who's the GOAT, or you're dying, hey, throw me off the cliff with an empty parachute bag, bro. Throw me off the cliff because I'm not talking about it. It's so toxic. It's so nasty.
Oh, it's horrible, terrible.
It's never ending, bro. It's literally never ending, man.
It's never. It can never end.
I feel like at this point, even if you're not a fan of LeBron or a fan of Jordan, you have no choice but to know every accolade and every accomplishment that they've ever achieved because that's all that gets talked about half the time, bro.
Right.
And every deficit. Not to say that Jordan has any deficits in his career, but every form of detrimental fact that can be placed to their career, right?
Yes, yes.
MJ leaving for the number of years, him always having Scotty by his side and having Phil Jackson be his coach,
right?
Just like
he got his daddy killed and all this other stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
And with Braun, it's like, he choked in 2007, he choked in 2011. JJ Barea killed him. A bench player like Jason Terry outplayed him. It's just like, it's the
Delonte West hit his mama.
Delonte, I hate that, bro.
That was hilarious, dude.
It's funny, right? It's funny to bring up, but I hate it in conversation because people bring it up like so much, right? And I was in a basketball live, and I said this one day, and I said, no matter what you want to look at, no matter how you want to look at the picture, forward, backward, upside down, if you can't sit back and honestly say that both MJ and LeBron were the fixtures of the NFL, I mean, of the NBA at the highest point in their career, whether they won or lost,
Right.
like they were the face.
Right.
MJ came
Absolutely.
in, he took over the NBA from Bird and Magic. He was the face of the NBA,
Right.
LeBron, you know, you think about when he left Cleveland and went to Miami. He got more he had more conversation with his decision than the NBA champions did
Right.
coming out of that season. So for that right there, that's polarizing. You can't deny the fact that that is a part of being the GOAT conversation, right?
Right.
So like, but it's just so nasty to talk about, bro. It's like two baby mamas and one baby daddy.
Right. No.
No, for real. For real.
I mean, you're right though, but
Who can drag the most?
and you know what the sad part about it is I look at like, okay, so we got the Olympics coming up, so shout out to the Olympics. The passing of the torch, right? You know, you got everyone's, it's always someone different, like someone influential that is goes and has the from city to city, right? That's like an honor. It's a badge. When someone said, "Would you run it through here and pass it here, and then pass it here, and then that final person goes up to them, top of the thing and pow, pow, lights them out, lights the thing on fire, right?
Yep.
So why can't people look at it like that? Michael passed the torch to Kobe. Kobe, in a sense, passed the torch to LeBron. I mean, if we're going through the eras, right? You had Magic and whoever you want to say in the 80s was the GOAT. In the 70s, whoever was the GOAT then, and the 60s, and so on and so forth. It was they put the keys in their hand and they said, "Take care of my baby.
Yeah.
Take care of my baby. Take care of my baby." Right? Because no one else has. If there was anyone else, that's what I think the Jordan and the LeBron fans really need to dissect. And I'll tell you another part of the argument that no one ever looks at. And I'll ask you this question. Here you go. Question of the day for my the NoMaam Nation and for the chat. In the time frame that Michael Jordan played and succeeded, compared to the time frame, and I'd say take the best, because I know what LeBron's 20 years in,
21,
right? 21. How many did Jordan play?
15.
15. So
Yeah,
take
15
so
or
take
16.
so take Jordan's 16 years and LeBron's best 16 years, right? And tell me who had better competition.
So that's always been my part of the argument, right? So we all know, if you've ever watched the game, MJ was 3 to maybe 4 inches taller than his counterparts at shooting guard, right?
Correct.
And he was about maybe 25, 30 pounds a little bigger, right?
Bigger than they were. Okay.
But he had the athleticism.
Yep.
And he had the speed, right, to be able to do things, move around, and outplay them. On top of that, the small forwards that could play him, that were his size, were a lot slower because they were at a bigger frame. So
right, they couldn't keep them on the court.
Right. When Bron came into the league, it was Bron played against bigger wing defenders that were, had the longer arm reach,
right?
And but the guard play, the shooting guard play was a lot smaller. So
okay.
I will say the defense may have been a little bit better in Bron's era, but MJ had the tougher competition because you got people who are like, it's much more physical. The guys are beating up on you. So to each his.
They each had great competition. Mm-hmm. It was just a matter of, we got someone joining. I got a late bloomer.
I think MJ's stats may look a little bit better than Bron's, right?
Okay.
MJ had a couple of seasons, I think it was like 9 scoring titles where he averaged like 30 points. And then that rookie year where not the rookie year, that's the second or third year where 100 steals, 200 steals, 100 blocks.
Okay.
Led the league in assists or something like that. So, I mean, MJ dominated. I would have liked to have seen a guy like LeBron dominate the way MJ did. But statistically, Stina has heard me say this. MJ is the GOAT of basketball because of his just everything he did, right? The style, the tongue, the floating, the free throw dunk, scoring titles, the 6-0 in the finals. But LeBron statistically, right? We're talking about the essence of basketball and stats. Like LeBron is going to end up in the top 10 every major stat category. Like that right there, we might not see for a very long time.
Right, and here's the funny part. What's up, Reese? Welcome to the show, big dog.
Thank you. Sorry,
here's a crazy thing. So Michael had the benefit, right, of being the first, and what I mean by that, the first to be really fully televised, fully promoted, fully branded, and was put out there for the world to see and the world to love, right?
I disagree.
What'd you say?
I disagree.
Well, who was before him?
Magic and Larry and Bird.
Yeah, but not to the extreme that, I mean, dude, we're talking Air Jordan commercials everywhere, a swoosh everywhere you turn. They did get their shine, but nowhere near as large.
I'm saying
Larry Bird left Magic Johnson to do McDonald's commercials with Jordan.
MJ, yeah.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm saying I'm saying there's the reason why the NBA got as popular as it was. Michael carried it to the
because it was Showtime out there in LA. So listen, but with Magic and Larry, it was more West Coast, California, New York, and Boston. Michael took over the world. Okay. And so I heard the argument the other day that's why you think Michael's better than LeBron, because if LeBron was given that chance, he'd do it 10 times better. I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, it's like this. Even if we put together a Mount Rushmore with 4 people on it, there'd still be arguments on who the 5th and the 6th are, and why the 4th made it to the 3rd, and the 3rd made it to at the end of the day, you have CFS if you think it matters, because guess what? It doesn't even matter. Right now, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player lacing up shoes, period. Right now, in the league, LeBron could dominate anybody at any given time, right or wrong.
The greatest right now?
Right. No one dominates like he's dominated. Look, it's Mrs. That Drew. Hold on a second. You better take yourself off mute, Mrs. That Drew. Mrs. That Drew. You better come on in and say hi. Listen, we family, lady. You better recognize.
Say hi. They want you to say hi.
Mrs. That Drew.
Pause. That was crazy.
Mrs. That Drew, you're one of the first ladies of NoMaam.
You're one of the first ladies of NoMaam. Yo, get out of here with your clammy hands, yo.
Yeah, go get some hand sanitizer. What you got going on over there? Anyway, so now let's flip it. Ready? To baseball. Reese, this is why I love you as an Atlanta Braves fan, because you know what you're talking about, right?
Right.
I want to talk about those CFS patients out there in the upper region and by Boston. They tell us that we can't go back about the 27 championships, but they can go back for the 4 that they've finally won. Although because theirs was earlier, theirs was more recent than ours. You're still going back in history. It's still the most. The Yankees have and always will be the number 1 organization in baseball. Period. They've done more. They've done
clear.
more for the game of baseball than any other team has. That's not a CFS statement. The Braves, right there. The Red Sox, right there. The Dodgers, right there. The Giants, right. Let's talk about the Giants and the Dodgers for a second. They were ran out of New York to the West Coast from the East Coast. Go over there. And they dominated. That's called great organizations. Boston, for years, small market. People don't realize Boston's not the big, but because they're a great sports town, made that organization phenomenal. New York, we got two teams, two amazing teams, the Mets and the Yankees. The Mets will let you down, break your heart. So are the Yankees. You know, it is what it is. Two phenomenal organizations. Atlanta, not known for their baseball prowess out there, have built an amazing, I wish there was a better word I could use, phenomenal, triumphant organization. The Milwaukee Brewers are still hey, Florida Marlins, this is for you. Because it's Florida Marlins that ruined the game of baseball. Teams like that. Shout out to the Baltimore Orioles. All these years fighting. Stay loyal to their players, loyal to their fans, trying to put good product out there. Great organization. Tampa Bay Rays. Eat a duck. You have no loyalty to your players. You have no loyalty to your fans. The way I see it.
They should pack that team up and move them somewhere else.
Right. So here's the best part. Phillies, love the Phillies too. I'm sorry, Jared. Phillies, phenomenal organization. Respectful of their past, their present, and they do things now that's going to affect their future. Okay?
St. Louis. We got to put St. Louis there.
St. Louis, the Cardinals as well. The Cubs. The Cubs. Oh, my God. Talk about a team that just until about 18 years ago didn't have any night games and still survived and thrived as a great organization in the game of baseball. The Detroit Tigers, same way. One of the most storied baseball fields in the world. Let me talk about the Braves for a second. This is the most stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Guy says to me, the Braves are washed. I said, do you watch baseball? He's like, yeah, man. I saw that what they did last year. Yeah, they dominated last year. Yeah, they lost in the first round.
They won the year before.
Hold on. I said, yeah, they lost in the first round. It happens. You know how hard it is to win 4 games in a row? You know how hard it is to defend the way that they defended and played and repeat that on a daily basis? Almost impossible. And then I said that, they did win the prior year, the whole thing. That's let's make that clear. Oh, yeah, they're not going to win the East this year. Who's going to win the East? The Mets? They start off 5. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, the Mets had more squirrels at the game the other day than they had fans, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, but again, I come into the league and Drew and I talking about the Yankees. Oh, you guys are garbage. You're going to finish in like 3rd or 4th place. Can you say best team in baseball right now? I can.
And we won. Tonight.
And we won tonight again, too. Well, fuck you, Marlins. 2 nights in a row. Yeah, Verdugo hit a home run tonight.
Oh, my God.
But it's the CFS and what we started talking about that it's not going to be cleared because you can't see past what you like. When your team loses, like, I'm going to go back to footballs for a second, and this is no disrespect to any 49er fan listening, but when you lose Drake, what's his name? Drake Greenlaw?
Yep.
Right? You lose him for the entire season. You had him last season. He helped you get to the playoffs. He helped you get to the Super Bowl. You don't have him next year. That's going to hurt.
It is. As much as they may think that the replacements that they got in the offseason for him may help, it may not. It may not. You don't know that 100% yet. Don't know
Buffalo,
that.
bro, I love you. You are my brother. You know that for life. You lost Stephon Diggs.
It's gonna hurt.
It's going to hurt.
It's going.
Yes, you got
not
Shakira.
only Stephon Diggs, but you lost Gabe Davis too. You lost your 1 and your number 2.
Whoa, and they lost Poyer, Tre'Davious White,
Mitch Morse.
Well, they're about to find out if that quarterback is carrying.
Well, no. But here's the thing: for a team like that, and I mean this, they will draft well.
Oh,
They
yeah.
will bring people in there. So I'm not worried about the Bills. There's other teams out there like the Dallas Cowboys right now that have no running back, need 2 wide receivers, need help on defense. They don't need a kicker.
Start rebuilding that offensive line too.
Offensive, yep. I was about to say offensive line.
Line is the problem. Everything else they can find.
Wait. Now here you go. Flip it to your team, Reese. This team is I'm calling it early that if they continue to make moves like they're making right now,
please don't.
That team will fight.
Okay.
For that division.
Okay, you change it up.
They will fight for that division. They are not going to be a walkover this year. That team will not be a walk. I'm actually excited about going to a few games this year, as I do every year to represent the Panthers.
Oh my God, I don't see it, but it's okay. I don't see it.
Dude,
yet.
their offseason has been stellar. Stellar.
I still think we need 2 wide receivers. We probably need another edge rusher. We need linebackers. We need another cornerback.
Well, listen.
We got a lot of holes, man. Probably a center. Too many holes for a rookie. For a second-year player.
Are they going to win the division? Probably not. But are they going to do well? Yes.
If we're competitive, I'm happy. Just be competitive.
Right.
Just be competitive. No
Chicago has a plan. I'm sticking by it, Drew. They have a plan.
It's too good. Drew,
like what?
What do you mean, like what? Well, I was going to say this.
What's the plan?
I've been a fan of football for a very long time, and I know good organizations. All right. Have they made great decisions over the last 5-6 years? No. But I don't. When was the last time they had the first pick in the draft, Drew?
Last year.
Yeah.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Oh, last year.
They traded it
up. 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Okay, 2 years in a row. Before that,
I'm gonna say first round pick or number 1 pick
or number 1 overall.
I don't know. I don't remember was like we traded up for Trubisky 6 years ago to number 2. I think we drafted Tim Couch like 7th or 8th or something like that in the first round.
It's been a long time since y'all had the number 1.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So here's where I'm going with that. I'm going to stick by that. I think this organization is going to do something that no one's thinking they're going to do because they want to go away from they're just being the Bears. That Sweat signing on defense, the defense is solid. And I think they've made some good moves, getting Keenan Allen to go with DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. You need one rookie. I said Wookie. Just watching Star Wars the other day. Shout out to Padawan, who, by the way, we're the number 1 podcast in Tatooine, if anyone wanted to know. But I think they're doing the right things, and I think they're going to go with the quarterback that I think best suits them. And to Drew's point, at his pro day, Keenan Allen didn't look too impressed. Just saying. I'm just saying.
So Therese, I know you said you guys needed a corner, right?
Yep.
With veteran guys still left in free agency, right? And I'm gonna throw two names out there, right?
Oh, I know Stephon. We're on. Hopefully, we're
Stephon
talking
Gilmore and
bring him
and
back home.
and Steven Nelson, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people weren't big on Steven Nelson last year, but I think he played a consistent, solid role with the team that he was with last year. He's a vet, excuse me, and he can be one of those guys that you can put, on your team if you draft a young guy, right? And have him pair up and lock in with him on that side of the ball to get the know-how and gain that pace, right? And then to Mitch's point about Buffalo, right? They ain't got no wide receivers. Do you go and give a guy like Odell a vet minimum?
No, I think they this draft right now is so packed with wide receivers. You can get two or three, and if you got that kind of a quarterback, he's supposed to carry up young talent, especially that
That's
you're gonna
valid.
have a first round pick, you're gonna have a second round pick. You can add a vet like Odell just to get the room, get a veteran
Yes.
in the room. But
that's why I was gonna say it, because if you look at what Josh Allen did with, like, what's the guy, Shaheed,
Rashid Shaheed.
no, the guy,
Shakir,
McKenzie.
No, the receiver from Buffalo.
McKenzie.
The new kid?
Yeah, the new kid. He caught the pass.
Yeah,
Shakir, right?
Okay.
Now, he was quiet all season. Stephon didn't really fill in that vet role to get him under.
Right.
Gabe was, same thing with Gabe. When they got Gabe was young. Stephon fill in that vet role. Look at what Odell did with Zay. Granted, Zay had a couple of rookie mistakes late in that game, in the AFC Championship game, but Odell gave that form of confidence. He gave that form of confidence to Zay to be his own.
Right.
You bring a guy like Odell in. He is a sure target for Josh Allen, right? You alleviate a lot of pressure with Josh Allen getting these dump passes, because we all know Odell is not breaking for 30, yak yards after a catch.
Right, doing a quick slant, get 10,
he's catching
15
quick
yards.
slants, 15 yards, then he's dropping down to the turf. He doesn't want to blow out his knee again, and I understand it. So you get a guy like that with those two tight ends in Knox and Kincaid, vet guy like Odell. Go use those early draft picks and go get some decent guys. That kid Parcell, what's his name? Is his name? Yeah,
Ricky
Purcell.
Florida.
Ricky Purcell from Florida. You get a guy like him, right?
He won't. It'll be around third
right?
round.
Like I said, get him in the third round. Shakir, Parcell, Odell. That's a nice little quick. That's a nice little quick receiver core right there.
I hope my Bengals look at Parasol. I think
I ain't gonna lie. I still think Buffalo takes a receiver with their number one pick too.
It's gonna be I think it's a Don Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. Adonai Mitchell. Yep.
Maybe they hurt me.
Adonai Mitchell.
Well, and Stino,
in front of us. I don't know.
Stino, I'm glad you're here, because can we talk about what you and I experienced the other night in the live with the Michael Pittman bullshit?
What was that?
When we were in the live the other night, and when I brought up Michael Pittman, and they were like, "What? He's garbage." What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you smoking? Like, Michael Pittman deserved every penny he got, and then some. And so,
really?
I mean, shout out to Alex Pierce. I know that. What's his name? Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. What does that say?
Boo.
No,
Michael Pittman hate allowed, bro.
None. It's crazy, right? Alex Pierce is good. Joshua Downs is, to me, better than Pierce,
he's wide receiver too. He's wide receiver too for us.
But Michael Pittman, how many different quarterbacks has that guy had over the last 2 years?
A lot. He's starting to get now. Don't get me wrong; the numbers are not nowhere near on the tier as this guy, but
they can't be.
his career is starting to go kind of in the same direction as DeAndre Hopkins, if we're being honest.
Absolutely.
Aside from not
Stino.
necessarily like the only difference is that DeAndre Hopkins at the beginning of his career was playing alongside Andre Johnson, another Hall of Fame wide receiver, right? Right.
Yeah. Right. But Stino, ask Reese, because Reese and I had this conversation a year or so ago. I'm a Florida fan. I love Anthony Richardson. Love him. He was not ready for the NFL. He wasn't. And his non-pocket presence showed you that, and that's why he got hurt. He was not ready for the NFL. That doesn't mean he's not a good quarterback. That kid is a very good quarterback. He's a good runner. He got a good arm. He just needs to learn how to be a better quarterback. Come to me in 3 to 5 years, or 3 years, because that's what Pittman signed, right? He's on a 3-year deal.
Yep, 3 years.
Come to me in 3 years with consistency, with the same coach and the same quarterback coach and the same quarterback. Michael Pittman will be in the upper echelon of wide receivers within the 3 years if he has that.
I say 2 years.
Right, but what I'm saying is, Drew, with look what he's done without consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what that man could do with consistency, and it's
right.
not glazing, you nasty bastards out there.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
It's called the truth.
His numbers have been consistent, even with inconsistent quarterback play. He's always amongst the top 10 in receptions, always amongst the top 10 in targets, always amongst the top 15, 20 in catch percentage, everything like that. The only real knock with him is that he doesn't find the end zone a whole lot. Just doesn't find the end zone. But at the same time, when you got a running back like Jonathan Taylor that you can hand the ball to at the
Zach Moss.
I'm not mad. I'm not listening.
Exactly.
And you said something, Stino, that really took the message home for me, which a lot of people don't understand when it comes to talking receivers. Like when we talk about receiver greats and we talk about guys that are top 10, so on and so forth. Completion percentage. What is your percentage of catching the ball when it's thrown to you? It's not just about how many yards you get after the catch, how many receptions you get. Yeah, those things look nice on paper. But if you're a guy that can catch at least 60, right, 60% of your targets, that means you're doing your job as a receiver, bro.
Right, exactly.
And he's got numbers like that. So for him to have that type of number and still not make the end zone, what that translates to me and understanding and knowing football is that you're pushing you and that quarterback are driving the ball down the field and getting it to that red zone, bro.
Yeah.
You get to the end zone, I really don't care who it is, the tight end, the running back, the slot receiver catching the pass, the quarterback offensive lineman, it don't matter. You're still allowing the team to put points on the board, bro.
Yep, exactly. At the end of the day, that's the main goal. Shit. Gotta put points on the board, keep your defense.
Right. And that's why and look, this is not, well, it is hate. Fuck it, I don't care. The Steelers, look, yes, you stepped up from what you had in that quarterback. You had Mo, Larry, and Curly in your quarterback room last year. Now you got Russ and Justin Fields. Major step up. But you lost Deontay Johnson, I'm sorry. Can George Pickens be a number one? I don't know.
Could be.
He could be. Potential. We thought Juju could be.
Let's not forget they also, I do believe they don't have Allen Robinson anymore. Neither.
No more Allen Robinson.
Well, let's also remember the Steelers can draft wide receivers and make.
True. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. They do a very good job of doing that.
Yeah.
But they also need an offensive line.
I thought they were putting it together already.
And here's my thing about that, as heavy as this draft is with receivers, we have to admit it is a top heavy receiver class, right?
I disagree.
Okay.
I think it's deep. 4 or 5 rounds. I think it's deep.
I don't think it's I don't think it's top heavy, but I don't think it's like superiorly loaded either. You know what I'm saying?
And
I think
so
the best wide receiver class in the last 5 years.
no, yes, it is the best.
Yeah,
It is
oh
the best
yeah,
wide
yeah,
receiver
yeah,
class.
for
What I
sure.
mean by top heavy is once you get past mid third round of those receivers, everybody else below that, late third, early fourth, fifth, going into the sixth, I don't think those receivers are going to translate into big number twos, solid number threes that can fill in for an injured guy, or a guy that you're looking to say, all right, did we get a steal on him to be something for this offense, right? And that's what I think.
I'm just gonna ask you a question, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
We nobody saw Puka come out of Puka last year, right? That's a third, fourth round pick. That's Puka. Nobody saw Puka coming. That class last year wasn't even as good as that class last year. They said it had Zay Flowers, had Puka Nacua, who broke every rookie record, and those receivers last year. This class is better.
Smith.
You may got three or four elite ones with Harrison Jr., Adunze, the kid out of
LSU.
The two kids out,
Neighbors
and Brian Thomas.
Yep.
You might got four elite ones right there. Then you got the two out of Texas, Don Mitchell and Xavier Worthy. Then you got
Troy Franklin.
I'm
Troy
saying,
Franklin.
But wait, let me interject. Let me interject for a second. Out of all these guys you just mentioned, they're all not going to be great. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying they'll be great. We're talking about as prospects. Let's
prospects.
Okay. As prospects. We're talking about as prospects. You got people going crazy for Xavier Legette from South Carolina. He only had 1 year of great production, but they love the potential. I'm just saying, this class has everything. It has the elite talent at the top. It has the middle guys that may not project to be great, but could be. They got elite talent, guys who have never shown, but they got elite talent.
Guys like Malachi Corley that played at Western Michigan.
Corley out of nowhere. You don't even know. No, people don't. I like you, Stino. I like you. You come with
I'm a Mac guy. I'm a Mac guy a little bit, bro. I live like
Malachi Corley. Watch his
I live like 45 seconds away from the Ball State campus, bro.
Watch the highlights of him.
Yo, I think so that's a guy, right? That's a guy you can say high third round pick that can come into a team and actually make a name for himself. Because if you're really looking at last year's receiver class, right, you heard the name Puka Nacua, right? Listen, think. All right, what did they say about Puka Nacua? He was a guy who didn't have a lot of big press.
This was at the combine because I remember them talking about him at the combine.
He didn't have a lot of big press as far as national televised games. But when you look at the chart for him, he's a quick, medium-sized receiver that has a good catch radius, and he can fit in any pro offense depending on what you have surrounded him. And for that measure, right? We have guys, like you said, we do have guys in the third round that can be that.
You got like 6 or 7. I can name Roman Wilson from Michigan. You got Jermaine Burton from Alabama. You got like guys in there. Dude, I'm telling you, still in the later rounds is gonna be Luke McCaffrey. McCaffrey's brother.
Who I'm big on as well. I think Luke McCaffrey, Luke McCaffrey.
Brandon Rice is another one too.
Yeah, Brandon Rice. So here's my only thing with Brandon. I think Brandon needs to go to a system where they're going to work with him. I don't think he has the frame size for the NFL, right? And who Brandon reminds me of Devontae Smith, right? He's I want to say a poor man's Devontae Smith. He's got a slim frame, right? He's got to get into that adult football frame, but he has the intangibles to play the game.
Dude, who they said that about last year? Who they said that about last small frame? Tank Dell.
But it was height. Everything else.
Was weight. Oh, Tank was like 165. It was weight.
But didn't he go to the combine like 175?
But he also got hurt, man, too, because
he did get hurt.
He got hurt blocking. He got hurt doing. They put him in on some stupid ass goal line play.
Yeah.
And put him right in the middle. He got hurt blocking.
Right, but to your
from
point, right? But to your point, but that validates your point. Smaller guy, they're gonna get hurt. Here's what I want to just because I want to move on to a few other things because we can talk about this shit all night, right?
Right.
The best part about it is that the strategies of these teams in 2 weeks, not next week, because next week's my birthday. Just so everyone knows that. Next Wednesday, this guy, 51, 5-1. Anyway, this guy. On the 24th or whatever it is, dude, these teams are gonna have to start making some business decisions. If it is a very heavy wide receiving and offensive line draft, where do I draft these guys? So I'm very interested. Next week, I really want to get into that. That's why I want to kind of halt it tonight. I want to get into it next week of what we really think our teams are going to do. And so I'll throw it out there on the chat to everybody, and everyone that's going to come prepared with what you think your team is going to do and what you think your team should do. I'm sorry, what you think that your team should do, but what your team is going to do. And that is because of my beautiful friend over there, Mr. Rode Reese, because this was the old discussion last year. Who are they going to take, or who should they take, right? Last year. We all said they should take CJ Stroud. All of us. But we also said that we're going to take Bryce Young. So again, it goes back to the Caleb thing with you and I, Drew. You and I are on the train and saying, I don't think they're going to. Everyone else that's saying that they are, let's think about what the Panthers did last year. What they should do and what they're going to do, two different things.
Wait. I think you're wrong. I think it's two different situations. Bryce was the consistent number one. I understand. That's why I knew they were going to do it. Caleb is the consistent number one. When that starts to change, then I will go with y'all. But it's just nobody's changing their opinion about this. So that's what I'm saying. And we're 2 weeks away.
But here's my thing. Caleb is, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Caleb is not really the consensus number one.
He's not.
I don't understand. What is your definition of consistent? If every draft person is
I said consensus. I said consensus. All right. So first of all, for that question, right? We gotta go. And I said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll die on this hill. I don't believe guys like Mel Kiper. And the reason why I don't believe guys like Mel Kiper was, and I'm going to name two quarterbacks, right? One of them, of course, was drafted by the Chicago Bears, and it pains me to say this. Mitch Trubisky. Oh, he was on Mitch Trubisky. He was on the Mitchell Trubisky wagon driving that sumbitch down the field. Right? Right? So much to the point where Chicago bit off the largest chunk of bite that anyone could have ever bit. Traded up, drafted him at number 2, right? In that same draft year, let's not forget what he said about Patrick Mahomes. He's a baseball guy. We don't know if he'll translate. He runs. He's not a good pocket thrower, right? So much to the point where a couple of years later, Kyler Murray, same thing. Every college scout that was talking about that transition with Caleb was saying the same thing that they were saying about Patrick Mahomes. He's a baseball guy. He's not a pocket passer. He's going to scramble. He improvises well. He does this. He does that. And then look what they did with Caleb. Well, with Kyler. Where's Kyler now?
Right.
Kyler had like Jared said in the chat. He had that MVP like season year 1, year 2 with D-Hop. Where has he been? Barring injury, because granted he missed some games, right? And everybody wants to talk about that small sample size that he had last year, but it didn't jump off the page for me. Kyler does nothing the same way. Caleb does nothing for me. And I watch those games. I'm an Oregon fan. So I got to keep my eye on USC and see what the scale is. And I use 2 games to define why it doesn't move me with Caleb, right? Utah and Colorado. Forget about Oregon, because Oregon, we pretty much did what we needed to do with him. But Utah, who had a struggling D-line, was giving him a problem. Same thing when it came to with Colorado. Colorado had a bunch of high school kids that were really frustrating Caleb. And not only that, they took him to overtime. So Caleb having those bad numbers and not being able to pass the ball under pressure, worst numbers in college football last year, completion percentage, attempts, and and yardage, all bad. You're going to stick him in Chicago and have him running around like a chicken with no head on his shoulders? He's going to do the same thing, if not worse than what Justin did. It doesn't jump off the page for me.
Well, and so, but so Reese, to your point, we're not arguing. Again, we're not arguing with you, because you're right. The consensus is Caleb's going number 1. It's locked in stone right now. Anything else would be fucking crazy. Hey, Drew, let's look at Reese for a second. Hi, we're crazy. I'm on the crazy train because I think I say this.
Well, I'm saying we can't let Drew get away with just giving out stats. I'm talking last year.
It's context. It's context.
You want to play the contest game. The dude had 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, Drew. And almost he passed for 3,000 yards. So we tell you that's a down year.
So so the context to that 30 touchdowns, right? He had one game where he had 4 or 5 touchdowns. He had multiple games where he had 1 or 2 touchdown passes, bro. Like, come on, let's not act like that. That's good.
He had a 68 completion rate. What are we talking about? That's
while Bo Nix had the best completion rate in football.
For his first time in 8 years. He's been in college for 28 years old.
There you go.
He's been in college since he's 4 years old.
Moving the goalpost. That don't mean nothing.
How is it goalpost? I've had 3 years of a quarterback putting up 30, 40 something.
Where was Caleb before he was at USC? Where was Caleb before he was in USC?
He was.
Anyone?
Let's find out.
Ask Siri. You better ask Siri. We got time.
And better yet, put the icing on the cake. What was he like when
Oklahoma? What are you, Oklahoma? Okay.
And thank you, Oklahoma. What was he like in Oklahoma? Cheeks.
21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 3,000 yards. 1,000 yards back.
That 1 year. That 1 year, right? That 1 year.
He only played that 1 year. Yeah.
That 1 year.
He only played like how many games? He wasn't a starter that year.
Again, we're not. Stop arguing like we're arguing he's a bad pick. We're Drew. No,
it doesn't fit.
Drew, listen.
It doesn't fit.
Listen, Drew gave his perspective. Oregon fan, watched Oregon, watched that division more than you and I did.
I'm not fighting against the numbers here. I'm saying we're saying 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions is a bad year.
A little bit off.
It's not a bad year.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's a bad year, but the makeup of those 30, like, now I can understand if
makeup of those 30 touchdowns. Look what you're saying. So
look at those games. Like run some of those completion percentages off to me in some of those games, Reese.
All right. Game logs. He's got a 73.
Shout out to Melly Mel in the building, one of the first ladies of the NoMaam Fans.
He's got a 77. He's got a 57. He's got a 70. So he's in between 60. One game got 90% completion.
And all right. Go to that 90% completion rate. What were the numbers?
19 or 21, 281 yards, 90% completion, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Who did they play?
Stanford.
They won that game, right?
56-10. Yes, it is.
56-10. What was the next game?
Next game, ASU, Arizona State. 20-31, 2,000 yards. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 64 completion rate. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
They won that game?
They won that game.
What's the next game?
Next game, Colorado. One of the was close.
Mm-hmm.
30 or 40.
Mm.
400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, Drew. Stop.
Yo,
Stop.
they
Stop.
they
Let's
went
compare.
to and I'm
don't
glad
care.
you say that I'm talking about the stats, right? But
6
average,
touchdowns, 1
yo,
interception.
going how many overtime? How many? It was like 2
I
overtimes.
don't care. We're talking
Oh,
about 6
now you don't
touchdowns.
care. You see, and that's
Look at the
what I'm
numbers.
talking about. That's what I'm
Look
talking
at the
about.
numbers. So wait.
But
So
I'm the
his
stat. I'm the
defense-
stat guy.
Wait,
I'm the
wait,
stat guy.
Wait,
right?
wait.
Defense
So
plays
so
a
let me
horrible-
hold on.
His defense plays a horrible game, and you blame him for it. Wait a minute, they gave up 40-something points to Colorado.
I mean, hey, I
He
will
put up
give that to
48.
Caleb. USC's defense was horrible.
Okay,
I
wait a
give that
second.
to
Wait a
Caleb.
second. Wait a second.
was
Okay,
bad.
so
It was bad.
but we can't give Dak Prescott a pass when he throws 2 interceptions in a game, but the defense gives up 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. It's look
That's fair.
again.
That's fair.
Nobody is arguing that Caleb Williams is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying, and because you're so stern on what you believe that he's guaranteed to be number one, that if he doesn't go number one, hopefully it humbles him a little bit because he does need some of that. Okay.
Pie.
But if he does go number one and he puts up shitty numbers, Drew's gonna say I told you so.
Oh,
Because
no, I'm not.
no,
Oh,
well, you
no, I'm
should.
not.
You should because you just said it great. You just said you made the point perfectly. If they get Caleb Williams, he's going to be in the same situation as Justin Fields was last year. If they don't address the other things, and they don't have a history of doing that, okay. I think if they pull a maneuver off of not going the way the norm has been and take I'm just going to say his name, Jaden Daniels out. Maybe that's a shift in the nucleus of what goes down there in Chicago, and you'll see that the rest of the draft, going after offensive linemen, going after other key. That's what the draft is all about, and that's what we'll get more into it next week. Listen, bring your team, bring your information, what you think they're going to do, and what they should do. Now, got to move on for a minute. Got to talk about it.
Time.
I'm going to give you guys a number. 201,000 plus.
It's a big number.
201,000. Remember that number, right? Let's say 495. 201,495. That's how many tickets were sold over a 5-day span for wrestling, the WWE events. They had SmackDown, Hall of Fame, both WrestleManias, and the NXT. 5. One city, the city of Philadelphia. Shout out to the city of Philadelphia.
Shout out to Philly.
Night 1 attendance at WrestleMania Saturday night. 70, I think it was like 72,000 and like 900 and change.
Sheesh.
Day 2, 75,000 and change. They took down screens so they could add more seats for people because it was that much of a demand.
What was the buy right? What was the TV number?
Oh, man, I mean, dude. I mean, it's
what
hard.
That's what matters. That's what they get paid on. What's the TV?
No. Okay, so remember that number 201,000. Average ticket price, and I'm lowballing it, $425.
Oh, I agree. They get a lot of fans. But
They made over $40 million in ticket sales. They made almost $10 million in merchandise sales. They probably tripled that in TV viewership.
That's where they can make their money, TV.
Okay. So let's talk about night 1, night 2. I said it. Night 1 was good. B, I'll go to the matches here in a second. but it was a great setup for night two. So night one set up, night two, amazing. I don't know if any if you guys watched it. Sat here in the NoMaam headquarters. Wes and I watched it on Saturday, and then I watched it on Dolo on Sunday. Actually, shout out to my man Alone. We watched the last match and talked in the Discord over the chat for the last match. And I'm gonna skip to that real fast. It was real funny. So we're sitting there, right? And he's like, I'm like, it's 9:48, like, and there's no other matches left besides the main event. These two bozos cannot carry an hour and 15 minutes, or an hour long match. They're just not built for it. They're too big of guys. They're not like that. Their style of wrestling is not an hour long. Maybe Cody more than Roman, but about 20 minutes into it, or 20, I was like 22, 23 minutes into it is when Jimmy Uso gave the first kick to Cody's face, right? And then you see Jay come running down, which he almost fell off the stage, which was hilarious before he even made it down there. He runs down. Jimmy runs after him. He spears him off the ramp onto a table. Awesome, right? Roman's in like, oh, what am I going to do now? Still, this bloodline rules was kind of a little like weak to me. Like they could have done more. Like I would have liked to have like the council sit outside the ring, Well, everyone that could still make it, that's family members. Shit, put the grandma down there. And Brock's mom, she was hanging out at Hall of Fame. And then, Cody gets the upper hand on Roman again. And then here comes Sikoa. And they beat the daylights out of Cody. Left him for nothing. And then when John Cena's music hit, I felt like it was like 20, almost 20 years ago. Like, oh my God. Like, it was just cool to see him come out because he does. People forget the history that he has with them, right?
He's old. He looked old.
Oh, he looks old. It's the hair.
Ball spot showing.
It's the ball spot back here.
It took him an hour to get to the ring the way he was.
Yeah, he called an Uber to get to the ring. No,
he took the stairs. He took the long way up.
It was bad. It was bad. And then but you know what the funny part about Cena shit is that he beats the shit out of Sikoa, right?
Of course he will.
Goes him through. He get what does he call it? The attitude adjustment. He gives that to Roman Reigns. Goes out, gives one to Sikoa for good measures on the table, through the table, and out comes the final boss. He goes to hit him one time, rock bottoms him, he's done, right? I'm not gonna lie, when that Shield music hit, I'll tell you why I didn't think it was Seth Rollins, because he got his ass kicked in the beginning of the night, like bad. Like, there's no way he's walking through the crowd. I thought it was Ambrose. Like, Alone and I were like, yo, if this is fucking Ambrose, oh my God. Seth really didn't even make it into the ring. And Roman super punched his ass and he knocked him out of the ring. You didn't see Seth again until the end of the match, which was funny. When they were all celebrating, he looked like that drunk uncle that just showed up to the party because he was all types of fucked up. But when the Undertaker's music hit, dude, I lost my mind. I was like, you gots to be fucking kidding me. Because then it takes you back to all the beef that The Rock and Taker had. The decision to bring those guys back was genius.
I disagree.
Genius. They could have done different, yes.
No, the bigger beef, if the bigger beef would have been if it was Stone Cold or Triple H. And those are right.
Okay, so here, Reese, again, why I love you so much. You're so damn smart. Triple H would have been the best, right? Would have been the best. But this is why we're gonna see success out of the WWE for years to come. And I'm gonna say this. If you're not watching the WWE now, start. Because what you saw on Sunday was why it's going to be better than anything McMahon has ever done, because he didn't interject himself.
Well,
Hold on. If
Go ahead.
Triple H would have put himself in that match and bodied The Rock, he's just like McMahon. And he doesn't want to be like McMahon. He wants to run it different than McMahon. He wants to run it for the talent, not me. This was special. This was WrestleMania 40. This was the changing of the guard, the passing of the torch. What I said, Michael just passed it off to LeBron. What we just saw with Roman passing it off to Cody. That's what we just saw.
What? They're the same age. Roman gonna come back.
Semantics. No, but he's not going to. Roman is not coming back to that capacity. He'll be in the mix. He'll be, dude. He's already said it. He's gonna wrestle. He wants to do some movies. He wants to do other things.
Yeah, he's gonna take a break.
The leukemia is not a problem. He has it under control. It's in remission. He passed the torch to Cody. This is your company now, bitch. Run with it.
No, I don't think that happened at all. I told you, screw.
You're nuts. You're nuts.
No, I don't know if Cody can carry a whole fucking company. I don't know.
Yes, he can. Absolutely can. 100% can.
Well, where has he proved it at?
Cody's a different person now.
Okay. All right. Beyond that, I said.
Listen. Okay. I gotta tell you. I'm gonna tell you though. I have a rebuttal that's gonna make you maybe not change your mind, but make you think a little bit differently. And I'll tell you. And when you hear it, you'll understand.
All right. I think I didn't like the writing. I don't like you bringing in the Undertaker after he retires. Okay, great. I think you could have bring Undertaker and Rock were never really a big thing. It was
bullshit. Watch the tape.
Never like that. No.
Watch the tape. Watch the tape.
You could have brought three guys that were like, okay, sequentially Rock.
Yeah, you say they could have brought him back. What if they didn't want to be part of it? Or Stone Cold's got his own shit going on, man.
Or Mick Foley, The Rock inside. You bring Rick and Mick tricked him. Like, I'm going to celebrate with Rock, but then that's another.
Come on.
I give him
the Undertaker makes it way more bigger. The Undertaker makes way more of an impact.
I don't think, man, if it was somebody that the Undertaker really had battles with, Rock and Undertaker was never really that big of a thing. It was
you're way off base, dude. Because
the
Taker and Rock had
a
huge storyline, dude, for a long time.
No, they really didn't, man.
Yes, they did. Okay, stop. They did.
But you stop. Don't ever tell me about no wrestling. I know about wrestling.
So you're telling me that I don't know about wrestling?
I don't think he's that big. I think Big Show is more of a rival to Undertaker than what's it called. Mick Foley is more of a rival to the Undertaker than The Rock. Rock was more a rival to Stone Cold, Triple H. Those were most of his big rivals. That's like
you obviously don't remember a large storyline with The Rock and Undertaker. Mick Foley and The Rock was huge. Mick Foley and The Rock was. We're not saying you're saying guys that don't have the impact of an Undertaker.
You don't want to. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Okay, Ministry of the corporate ministry. Who was the arrival in that? Because it wasn't The Rock. Rock was making a movie at that time, so it wasn't Rock. So Ministry
you're bringing up specific storylines. I get it. But don't deny that they had
Undertaker's biggest storylines. We're talking about the Undertaker, where he was running the company, where he was the number one guy.
Okay. Calm down for a second and relax. I want to say what the fuck I want to say. You don't like it?
Me too.
You know, it's getting spicy in here.
No, because you do that shit all the time. If it doesn't fit what you're saying, you don't believe it happened.
I don't, because you can't name a storyline, but you want to say it was. I don't think Rock and Undertaker was.
Sorry, Encyclopedia Brown, that I don't remember right off the top of my head the dates and times that they had a storyline. Anyway, my point being is this: the reason I say Cody could run the story, and again, is he going to be The Rock and Stone Cold? I don't fucking know, nor do I fucking care. What I'm saying is this: for all these years that the Rhodes never held a championship belt, to be honored, to be given that opportunity, it changes a person. It makes a person look at it differently. And I think we've seen that Cody over the last 4 or 5 years, probably, maybe more than that, to have enough balls what he did before he started AEW with that gorilla show that he did that was successful, that everyone showed up for, that he invited everybody, that everyone that doubted him, and he went to AEW and ruled shot there, but they couldn't give him what he needed to have the balls to come back to a place that gave up on you because you weren't ready, but everyone adores your father and has turned the page and saying, wow, we see a lot of Cody. We see a lot of we see a lot of your dad in you now. Cody, where was this 10 years ago?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question because this is what I think. Let's make a $5 bet. I think Cody is gonna have a Kofi Kingston like run. He's like he's just a bypass. He's not a guy that's gonna carry the company.
If McMahon was still running, it, I would agree.
I think I don't see. I see a difference in Triple H, but I don't see the difference where it's not going to be a big monster running the thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Serious question. Did you watch the Hall of Fame on Friday?
Yes.
Did you hear Paul Heyman's speech?
Yeah.
Did you watch the entire WrestleMania this entire weekend?
Yes.
Did you watch the press conferences after?
Yes.
And what was something that was said in unison all weekend long that has never okay, I shouldn't say never. That has not been said about this organization probably in the last 15 years.
What was that? What was the going rate, man?
We are standing. The Triple H era has begun.
Okay.
What? And we stand behind it. You can fade off all you want. You can go bye if you want to. Don't tell me
you keep being mad like they keep trying. Okay, see, you're trying too much. I'm saying in your little rant, because your opinion, I'm saying, when has Triple H shown you that a small man, not a big muscular man, but was going to be his carrier for his company? What makes you think that CM Punk ain't about to jump right back into it? What makes you think
Seth Rollins is the same size as fucking Cody Rhodes?
Seth Rollins
has been given the keys years ago to run the fucking company. To be the face of the company. So Seth Rollins is not fucking Andre the Giant.
Has way more personality. Seth Rollins is more like Ric Flair than Cody Rhodes is.
Has more personality. Have you seen this motherfucker enter a ring?
I've seen Seth Rollins.
Have you seen Cody Rhodes enter the ring?
Seth Rollins did 4 different characters. Cody has only been the Nightmare and Stardust.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna read.
What
up, Ed Lover?
Lit in here.
But
I'm gonna respectfully disagree because I don't agree with anything you're saying.
I got $5. He's gonna push.
You can keep your $5. I don't want your $5 because I know I'm gonna be I know that this era of wrestling, what he's willing to do and what he's able to do now, with everyone standing behind him and letting him run the company, it should have been ran for the last 10 years. But McMahon has had his little puppet strings on him. Now that those strings are gone, and Triple H could do what he knows is best for business, Cody Rhodes right now is best for business.
He's gonna push a big man. Get ready. There's another big man coming.
I think CM Punk ends up taking that belt from
Cody.
From Cody.
I don't think so. I don't think so because first of all, they're not even going to be intertwined for you're talking the CM Punk Drew McIntyre story is going to go on for a minute, and then now you got potentially Jey Uso going with because he won the title, he won the number 1 contender match last night. He's going up against Damian Priest, who's not going to hold on to the belt for a long time. Right, he's going to lose it much quicker than anybody else. Cody could take on anybody. They're not going to do that to a guy that they're investing all this money and all this time into. That's just proven. He's getting time and promotions like the Cenas, the Rocks, the Stone Colds. That's how they're put.
No way.
You're going to say they're not pushing him like that? They're not pushing him like that? Are you seriously going to say
No,
that they're
I
not?
don't think they're pushing him. No, they're not pushing him like that.
Wow. People in the chat, please help me bury this guy. Because
Okay, they're not going to help you. They're not. Because nobody agrees that he's going to be the face
he's
of the
won the
company.
Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. He's been
Okay.
back 3 years, and it was the right who has the title. How is that not a push?
I think he'll be the same as Edge. The same kind of push as Edge got, where you still got that one guy. I think he'll be the guy after the one guy. That's not a bad thing. He can be Daniel Bryan. It's not bad. But I don't think he's gonna be up there with the Rocks, the Cenas, where it was them carrying the company. Roman's coming back, and then that's people, it'll be back to Roman. Those are the characters.
I don't even think Roman ever got that.
Yeah, I think Roman's had the title for 2 years now, 2-3 years. Roman's got that.
Because he's had one of the greatest storylines we've seen in a very long time.
It's not just a storyline. They've been trying to push
It's
Roman.
not just a story. The man's wrestled 5 times in 2
keep
years.
talking. They have been trying
Thank
to
you.
push
I'm
Roman.
going to keep talking. That's what I do. See, I got a microphone. I
They've
talk.
been trying to push Roman for 4 or 5 years. Even
Okay,
when the fans
so-
didn't
so-
want
so
Roman.
Chad,
No, wait. Even when the fans didn't want Roman to be champion, they pushed Roman. Even when the fans they hated Roman. They pushed Roman.
So, Chad, answer me this. Chad, how many times has Roman wrestled in the last 2 years? Storyline has kept that man going, not wrestling.
How many
Storyline.
different storylines have they came up with?
One, it's the fucking bloodline. That's it. He's had 2 storylines. He was the Shield and Bloodline. What are you talking about?
That's the only 2 storylines? He put
Absolutely.
the bloodline together.
2 storylines. Shield, Bloodline. That's all he's ever been.
He had a good guy storyline too before then.
The Shield and the Bloodline.
And head of the table, the head of
The head of the table is the
dog,
Bloodline.
It was the big dog. You're in my yard. I'm the big dog. You're in my yard. He had that.
That's because I'm the head of the table.
No, that was the yard. I'm the big dog.
It was still that was still Shield.
That was Shield, yeah.
That was not a Shield. That was a good guy run he had. Stop. That's what I'm saying, man. You don't
Shield
remember
was
this
good
stuff.
at one point.
Yeah,
What?
he was good.
The Shield was good at one
The
point.
Shield was good at one point.
Mhm.
No, but then the Shield broke up. He went by himself, went against Brock. He was the good guy. Nobody liked him. Remember, they didn't want the fans hated. They pushed Roman. Then Roman fought. They kept holding Roman back until they finally started pushing Roman again. They've been wanting to push Roman for 8 years.
I didn't see. I don't see it. Anyway, going back to night 1, the tag that was the worst tag team title match thing I've ever seen in my life. I think giving it to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory was the stupidest thing. And it was so anticlimactic. Like out of nowhere, he's just climbing a ladder. He's like, "Hey, I got the title, guy. Check me out." I'm like, "What? Why these 2 clowns?" And then automatically, I was like, "Well, this either means that Logan Paul's gonna win, and they're gonna put Randy Orton and KO together to win the titles off of those 2 jackasses on SmackDown." And then I liked it for R-Truth and The Miz. You know, that was R-Truth's first ever win at WrestleMania. Guy's been in the WWE for 20 plus years. First win at WrestleMania. It's pretty big. And then the fact that he wanted to get tagged in, and then the fact that he tried to pin someone in a ladder match, fucking hilarious.
Shout out to Flavor Flav's brother.
Yeah. Oh my God. 100%. 100%. The Becky mommy match, that was great. Great match. The Sami Zayn Gunther match was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal match. I really very much enjoyed that match. There was a lot of filler crap, you know. There was like, can't believe that they're really still, wow, I can't believe they put that match up on. Well, damn, we just lost Tino. Okay. But the final match on Saturday, the Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman, you could see the ring rust on the Rock, man. He was moving at a different speed. But it's always good to see him. He's so great. I mean, he's such a benchmark for all these kids coming in to the WWE, whether you're his size or you're not. Like the charisma that man possesses and what he's able to do on a microphone is maybe the best ever we've ever seen. Like in any thing, like his acting chops are amazing.
I think the best character, like microphone jobs as a wrestler we've ever seen, Rock and Stone Cold. Those two
Flair.
guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like Flair. But I think what The Rock and Stone Cold were able to do with drawing in the crowd to be a part of the antics when they're talking, shutting down someone else from in the middle of their ISO was epic. It was like you just can't match that. Ric Flair had the pizzazz. He, the woo was epic, wheeling, dealing,
jet flying,
limousine riding. Like that was epic. I love that. But like I said,
$20 suits to $5,000 shoes and shirt that your girl gonna take off you tonight. Come on, baby, that's fair, baby.
And these Gators.
I think Dusty had great. Macho Man had great promos.
It wasn't like like listen, Stone Cold and the what, and
they're still doing it to this day.
Yeah, and I went to the bar, had a beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot, a bloody a margarita. Like that was crazy. And then The Rock, having his variation of it, where he was just like always sunning Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon with it, or even his early years. Like now, you said he didn't have that type of storyline with the Undertaker, but I think 2 of his, 3 of his best storylines, The Rock, was Stone Cold and The Rock, The Undertaker and The Rock, and Triple H and The Rock.
I think it's Triple H. I don't remember 2 great storylines with Undertaker. I do remember Rock, Hollywood Rock coming back. That was against Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. Rock first coming out, Nation of Domination Rock. Mm-hmm. That was Triple H and Generation X. Mm-hmm. When the Undertaker was in the Ministry or American Badass, he was either fighting like
one of those. The American Badass. One of those was The Rock.
One of those was Rock. Yeah,
and I think the Ministry was The Rock. Well, he had a Rock beef too, because I just watched it the other day. I just watched it yesterday, where it was because I have Peacock and it's on Peacock.
A Ministry. You remember
where he walked up to the Undertaker at the announce table, and he was talking shit to everyone. And he said something to the effect of, "And if you look at me wrong again, dead man, I'm gonna slap the dead off your face." And
that was American Badass. That was American Badass.
And then they went into a really long beef for a while off of that. And then they both left. They both left. Undertaker came back. He didn't come back. But to your point, I get what you're saying, that they could have been potentially better guys to come out. There's a lot of guys that come out. But to me, the most impactful outside of Stone Cold is The Undertaker.
I don't remember The Undertaker.
Because
I'll
also,
let you have that. I don't remember The Rock and Undertaker having a
wait a second. But also you gotta look past The Rock's beef with Undertaker. Look at the Undertaker's beef with the Wise Man that's there to represent. Look, say
why is he
21-1? Who ended the streak?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Who ended the streak?
Brock?
He was under Heyman.
Oh, yeah,
and who was with Brock? And who was in Brock's corner?
Paul Heyman.
Oh, God. Really? Y'all, you reaching.
No,
it ties in together.
Reaching.
It ties in together.
When I'm not, listen.
Okay, let's just step out here.
No. I'm going to finish what I want to say. I'm going to finish what I'm going to say, and then we can move on if you want to.
Okay, it's a bad storyline.
It's not that was a bad storyline?
Yes, I don't understand.
Okay, that's your opinion. Thank you. Move on.
Yeah.
So what I was saying, why it ties in, he's now fucking over Paul Heyman's #1 guy right now by showing up. It wasn't to do with showing up to just body The Rock. I'm bodying The Rock. Now your boy's gonna lose, Paul. 21-1. Now your meal ticket's out the window. That was a great one to bring back before that. Shit, if you ask me, who should have been brought back? If you're looking at The Rock and that bloodline, bring in someone you don't that has no storyline. Be like was that Jimmy Fatu that's in the Performance Center right now, and totally fuck up the bloodline to continue that great story that they have going with Roman, because that made no sense to me last night when The Rock left. Like he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Well, you just left a mess behind you, homeboy, because the whole bloodline's in a shambles right now.
And that was my point. That's why I think it was a bad storyline. Because first, Rock is leaving to go do a movie. Roman's leaving to go do a movie.
It's not a bad storyline. Stop it.
My brother said in the chat, he said, I'm the man behind the one in 21-1. That's a Paul Heyman quote, bro. That's a fact.
And he brought it up like 5 times during the ceremony. By the way, shout out to Paul Heyman. That was maybe the greatest acceptance speech of an award known to mankind. Like, that was phenomenal. That was totally phenomenal, top to bottom. I loved everything about it. He was honest. He was for whatever. But yeah, the great WrestleMania. I think overall, I'd give it an A, maybe B plus with both nights. Like
we didn't even talk about the best match. We didn't even talk about the best match.
In your opinion, okay, wait a second. Your opinion, what's the best match?
My opinion, Bianca Blair.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
They tore that shit down.
The fuck out of here!
But
it was not the best match.
I've never seen.
Oh my god!
Get the fuck out of
here! You know what, dude? You just lost all. You lost all credibility, dude.
He just hit you with the Eddie Murphy. Get the fuck out of here!
You built a new star. You built an existing star, and then the Asian girl still.
Stop it!
That was a great match. It was a great match.
Oh yeah, greatest match. That was in your opinion.
I think that was.
There you go. Great opinion, bro. Great opinion. Thumbs up.
I can't wait till Cody get 8 years of championships. I'm seeing how long that lasts.
You know what? Do me a favor. Just exit stage left. Just go. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Like you're not even. It's not even fun with you anymore, man.
Just clock out.
Just go home for the day, man. Just go home for the day, man. You're out of your fucking mind. That was the best match of WrestleMania. You misogynistic bastard, because you couldn't stop staring at fucking Jade and Bianca's ass the whole time. What's up, Wes?
Wes was good.
What's up, fellas? Let me just chime in because I've been listening, and you guys forgetting Chris Jericho had a beef with The Rock too. Let me throw that in there because remember he had the countdown.
Oh, excellent. WCW. Yes. He's an AEW. They ain't gonna get it. So,
and second, I think the moment of the match was when Truth was trying to get the tag in.
That's what I said. That was hilarious, dude. When he was trying to tag in, then he tried to pin him.
And then you heard him Monday. He's like, "I'm bringing the belts back to Judgment Day."
Yo, that was hilarious. Rhea Ripley and Damien are in the middle of the ring holding their, and then here he comes. Bring it back to the. Yo, that dude is hilarious, man. Shout out to R-Truth. That's hilarious, dude. That was so funny. Oh my god! And then they brought back Little Jimmy. Please tell me it's someone that we can see. Wes, what was your favorite match of the weekend? Again, in your opinion.
It was probably Sunday night.
Which one?
The last match, Sunday night.
Sunday, okay.
For the title, everybody coming back. Like I said, I heard you guys going back and forth. Like I said, my thing is it should have been Stone Cold. I get Taker, but what I'm hearing was they didn't want to pay Stone Cold. That's why he didn't show up. That's what I'm hearing. This.
I think it was more than that. I don't think Stone Cold's into it as much as he used to be, man. He got the Broken Skull Ranch and all that other drinking beers. He's drinking beers, man.
What do you think the other guys are doing? John Cena didn't look great. The Rock didn't look great.
Yeah, But John and The Rock
Give me
had
two moves.
in between movies. You know,
Give me 2 moves. Oh, you had to give me 2 moves.
no, I would have loved to see Stone Cold there. I totally agree. Shit,
Pop
I would have
beer?
liked to see. I would have liked to see Shawn Michaels there too. Yes, ultimately, I would have loved to see that. You know, it's time to play the game, or DX music hits, and they come fucking flying down the ring. That would have been fucking great. That would have been fucking amazing because they had a lot of beef with The Rock, right?
But I get your point. Like Triple H can't step in.
He's not doing it. He's doing everything the opposite. Fuck the Kiss My Ass Club and always being on. McMahon was no Diddy is the Puff Daddy to am I right? Like what did Suge Knight say? Want to be all up in the videos, dancing around.
Wild night.
Vince
Man was
McMahon.
the best. I'm saying Vince McMahon was the best villain.
Vince McMahon, Terry Jones, same guy.
Yes, best villain in wrestling history.
So Triple H is like, okay, let's do things a little different.
Okay, you could have got somebody else, man. I don't see a storyline with Undertaker. But they're all leaving anyway, so that's the one thing.
Yeah, who's leaving?
Roman is taking the time off. Rock is going back to make more movies. So
according to Roman today, he'll be back in about a week.
I thought he hugged Heyman like he was like, oh yeah, I'm about to go do some movies for a couple.
Well, got his ass kicked. He also smiled. If you really watch it, they showed someone had a video of it. He smiled at Cody when Cody got the pin, which I thought was pretty cool.
But I'm saying, I think he's about to do it. I think he's about to get a movie role. So he's gonna do a movie for you. He might not be. I'm saying he can come back every once in a while, but I'm saying in the storyline where he's the main guy, I think he's gonna take maybe.
Well, no, I think they have before he does that. They have to figure out the bloodline because there's drama now. It's either Sikoa's going to take over, and that's Roman's way out, where Sikoa or somebody takes over the bloodline violently, and I think that's when the younger Fatu brother comes from the Performance Center.
I think Jimmy and Sikoa are going to fight for the head of the table.
And that may lead Jimmy back to Jay. And then we can have the Usos again, the Uso Penitentiary. Because that's what I miss, because those fucking guys were great together.
Judgment.
Yeet.
I'll leave the bloodlines back for a little bit. I think we're going to chill with the bloodline. And they got to write something specifically for Cody, specifically for Drew. I think CM Punk. I think the bloodline's taking a backseat for a little bit. That storyline's gonna take a backseat. You brought the big one in with the final boss with Rock for a little bit. I think they're gonna make movies. The Usos will fight. They'll stay around. Sikoa will fight. But I don't think it's gonna be a blood. I think it's more. If you want it to be about Cody, it has to be a Cody storyline with somebody else now. Cody got to move on to somebody else.
My only thing is Cody is boiled chicken. I'm sorry.
Okay, but we just say to argue, but you sat there and was quiet for the last minute when he was saying Cody gonna be the next face of the franchise.
I was shaking my head. No, I don't think Cody is going. I don't like.
You guys are crazy.
It just doesn't move me like that, right? Like you said, 8 years, right, of trying to build this image for Cody, or like this height for Cody. I just don't see it. He might have this boring run, right?
I think it'll be a Daniel Bryan type run,
right? He might have this boring run where it just doesn't look, or it might just be one of those types of championships where he wins, he loses, he wins, he loses, and it's just a back and forth thing. Thank you, a Cena type of thing. But I just don't think he's not a Stone Cold caliber, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Rock, or just like even to that point of the Undertaker.
Shout out to Ed Lover. Wait, Wes, do it.
Hey, Drew, I'm a disagree with Drew.
Right. He says it's going to be the Ring General. His first, his first competition.
Now Gunther, I can see Gunther coming up. He lost the title. He comes up and goes for world titles. I think Gunther can carry. He could be a bad guy villain that everybody chases.
What about
And so,
Braun Breaker?
Ron Breaker coming
I
up.
haven't heard Braun in a while, but we'll see. But
Yeah,
I'm saying,
But think about the ring general and Cody. That could last a good 3-4 months, maybe longer than that. You know,
I'm saying, but
then
that's to get the
potentially,
title to the ring general.
and then this all could change because they're doing another draft.
But I'm saying that's giving the title to the ring general because you want.
They're not going to get the title. They're not going to take it off Cody. Cody is not going to lose the title this quickly.
I'm not saying this quickly, but it could be 4 or 5 months. He'll have.
Nah, you got to give him.
He's not having it for a long. Okay,
It's
I
gonna-
think we need to get to the definition because I think we forget what it is. I think some people forget what it is. It's like this. There's only been 4 or 5 guys that carried a company, a wrestling company for years like that. Hogan carried the 80s.
Right. All I said was Cody's going to have the title for a year. I didn't say he's going to retire at 75 as the champion.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you say it's going to be like a Roman Reigns, Rock kind of carry. It's not going to be that. That's what we're saying.
It has the potential. He just signed a 3-year contract, and I can see if it continues the following that this man's bringing.
He can be the next Kofi Kingston. He can hold it for a couple months. Yeah, till they get the next big guy up.
Don't do my man like that.
Cody's still around.
Could have been Drew McIntyre.
Kofi's still around. Kofi's still relevant. So
I'm gonna ask the question to the panel: who, in y'all opinion, has carried the company for years on end? Like you thought, like for years it was Hogan, then Bret Hart. Bret Hart time. In between, you had Shawn Michaels, but then Bret took it back from Shawn, and then it was Rock and Rock.
Well, how many years are you talking? Because the Shawn Michaels, it was not. We're not talking John Cena long. We're not talking Stone Cold long or The Rock long.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the only 4 that've been wrong. Bret Hart.
Okay, but you're okay.
Hogan,
So with all due respect to what you're saying, and I mean that with every fiber of my soul, with all due respect, you're talking about. You mentioned Hulk Hogan.
He's a goat.
You mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
You mentioned The Rock. And who was the last one? Who was the other one?
Cena.
Bret Hart and Cena.
I'm going to leave Bret Hart out for a minute. And Cena.
Right.
Because Bret Hart's different. Bret Hart was trained to be a fucking assassin by his dad that happened to have a great personality. And
the point is he carried the company for a while when they needed him. He carried the company. He had to.
3-4 years tops, 5 years.
No, it was about 5 or 6 years because he.
Okay, compared to Rock, Cena, Stone Cold, and who was the other one?
I mean, shit, you can even say
Undertaker.
You can say Mick Foley had a better run.
Undertaker did not carry the cup.
Whoa, no. Let Drew get away with it. What were you about to say, Drew? Because you ain't about to say Mick Foley had a better run than Bret Hart.
Hold on, wait. So let's talk about hold on, wait. Let's talk about the entirety. We got Cactus Jack, you got Mick Foley, you got Dude Love.
That's a whole different wrestling company. Cactus Jack was WCW mostly.
And then he brought Cactus Jack to the W.
He brought him like for one match. Are you gonna
for one match?
We're talking about characters. We're talking about Bret Hart carrying the whole fucking company.
Yeah, I love. Listen, I love Bret Hart. I came into wrestling watching Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. But bro, I'm sorry, like Mick Foley's character and what it was in his run,
like a 5-10-year run.
Rock and sock.
Dude, let me give you a heads up.
He only had the title one time. Bret Hart carried the title 7 times. He had the title one time.
Okay, so stop it though. Was Bret Hart the greatest personality on the microphone?
We're not even talking about the microphone. So we said, so the microphone's the only reason he wasn't the greatest.
No, stop arguing about that. We're not saying what you're saying is wrong.
Hey,
but don't say that Bret Hart was the greatest on the microphone.
No, one thing. It's just like a rap conversation. You bring up one thing that the guy couldn't do that wasn't great at, and that means he wasn't good at
and
nothing.
That's exactly what you're doing about Mick Foley.
I'm not saying Mick Foley. I didn't say that Mick Foley had the title one time. He never was the face of the company.
Okay, so let me get to my fucking point before you have an aneurysm. You brought up The Rock, Stone Cold. We'll throw in Bret Hart. I'll throw in Mick Foley, John Cena. These are, let's call it as it is. The Rock, Cena, and The Rock, Cena, and Stone Cold carry the company for the longest majority of the time. The greatest microphone blessers we've probably ever seen in professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Okay, we can't compare any. Cody is nowhere near any of those guys. Roman Reigns is nowhere near any of those guys. Nowhere. He's nowhere near Bret Hart. He's nowhere near a Cactus Jack. Dude, he's not even. Well, I wanted to say that because I was going to say, shout out to my man Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, loved Hacksaw. But let's keep it real. No one now that I'm seeing be on the microphone and in the ring is coming close to any of those guys. Bret Hart, no one even close to a Bret Hart. If he's at towards the bottom of that list for longevity wise, because he left and came back. He left for good reason because him and McMahon some shit, or whatever, and then the whole Owen thing. God bless his soul. A guy that I thought got in another one, rest in peace, is Bray Wyatt could have taken this industry and we wouldn't have Cody. We wouldn't need Cody. They wouldn't need Cody if Bray was still around. That's why I can't wait to see what Bo Dallas could do because Bo has a great personality. You better believe I love him. Does he have what his brother had? Probably not. But I like what we're seeing. Like a guy I love to see in WWE, and I think we may see him down the road. And I say his name a lot is Swerve Strickland. I love Swerve is my guy. Like I think that guy is one of the most talented wrestlers out there right now, and he's pretty dangerous on the microphone. You get guys that are like Chad Gable. I love Chad Gable, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shoot. Thank you. Who else is good up and coming? That I think is going to make. I mean, Jay and Jimmy. They're. I think Jimmy more than Jay. Sammy parlayed being great on the microphone to getting his stuff right in the ring. He's on that track. Randy Orton. I mean, are we forgetting Randy? Randy's been in the fucking WWE for 20 years, holding it down.
Yeah, but you can tell
it down.
He's breaking down.
But Randy doesn't have
that torn bicep injury is definitely labored.
Oh yeah. I mean, same thing with KO. Kevin Owens is amazing on the microphone, and he's great in the ring. If Shinsuke Nakamura could speak better, another one. He's great. His storylines are phenomenal. Everything that man touches. That's why I like The Miz. That's why I kind of like DIY. I like Finn Balor. I don't think Damian I like Damian, and I want to see him succeed. I just don't. I like I said to you, Wes, on Saturday. And to Steel Drew's night, it just doesn't move me. Like him being champion. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I see you're a big guy, whatever, blah, blah,
He just hasn't been solo in a while, so you don't really remember.
Right. But like Seth Rollins, to me, Seth Rollins is the closest to anyone that we've all mentioned of the guys that have paved the way. The Rocks, the Undertakers, the Stone Colds, the Bret Harts, the Shawn Michaels, the Triple H's, all those great guys that we mentioned, Cena's, all those guys. Seth Rollins is there. I mean, that dude comes out in what the fuck was he wearing last night?
I'll say this.
Either one of the nights. What was he wearing?
I'll say this for Cody, right? If Cody brings his brother out as this form of, I don't want to say bodyguard, but like bringing his brother to be his his running guy with him out there, that might spice up his championship run, right? Because you got whether it's Dustin or it's Gold Dust or Gold, whatever his other name is, Stardust or whatever it is. Like, I think that gives him some type of spunk because the family is there, right? Like, I'll say that even so much with like Roman, right? Like Roman as a champion, kind of flat without the bloodline, right?
Right.
So bring that and they're bringing in this lineage and this family lineage together in with a lot of these guys. Like, I think that might give Cody some spunk. Why? Because you're bringing in that old regime, that older form of wrestling with his brother into this newer era. He doesn't have to do a lot of wrestling. He can just come in and be an enforcer, right? Cody's he might be getting his ass kicked just a little bit too much, and then here comes Gold Dust, and
Right.
it spices it up a little bit. So, and it makes it good for the viewing.
Well, and there is a built-in history with Cody, right?
Mhm.
He has ties to a lot of guys in the WWE right now, a la Randy Orton, a la Jey Uso. They can start their own family, their own faction. That's the big thing to do right now. If you're AEW, they got like 30,000 factions over there.
The Road Warriors, like
they
some
lose.
shit like that.
And that's why they're losing.
But then there's guys over there that once that product fails, that Triple H will bring over to the WWE that could help elevate Cody, because again, he's had his hand in a lot of these guys' careers. So do I think he's going to have the greatest run in history? I don't know. Do I want to see what he can potentially do? Because I do see a great personality. I do see a very good wrestler. And I do see, in my opinion, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time in Dusty, a lot of his son, a lot of him and his son. And to over what? I mean, come on. How many years did Dusty wrestle and never had a WWE championship?
Well, he wasn't
or ever have a championship to begin with,
He had W. He had NWA. He had the title.
But the Ric Flairs, they're gone. They're not coming back. The Bret Harts, we don't have them anymore. The triple. You don't have guys that are built like that anymore.
What do you mean built like what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, explain.
We don't have wrestling families like that have the decades that the Hart family had. With Stu and his brothers and his brothers' brothers, and then they have this line of amazing, with Brett, with Owen. There was another Hart that was in there for a while that he was good, but he sucked on the microphone. Then off of that, David Boy Smith, Jimmy Anvil Neidhart. We don't see that anymore.
The bloodline just that. The bloodline is just that.
Oh my God!
If you roll your goddamn eyes again when I just said it was the bloodline was just the exact same thing you just said. I just said the bloodline was the exact same thing. That's what it was. That's all I said.
I said, you know what, dude? Do me a favor, clock out. Just go.
Yeah. Take the rest of the week.
Just take the rest of the week off, man. There are. I didn't say there was none, but we don't see this much anymore with like the Von Erichs that were around for so long and all these guys and
Bulldogs.
Well, I'm saying, what is Braun Breaker? That's a Steiner, right? So we most of the guys are families now. It's a bunch of families.
No, buddy.
They need to stop with the factions. I just think there's too many factions. Too many
more factions.
It's like game fight. It's like everybody's gonna be a gang war. It's gonna be the big ones. LEW.
You know what? Hey, Mike. I wish MJF was on his way, but I think the window closed last night. It was perfect timing for him to show up at the Raw after Mania. Unless he's still nursing that injury. I don't know.
I don't
Said the
think he's
same thing about
coming.
Sting, but he came sooner or later. But it may be too late. But they said the same thing about Sting.
What are you gonna say, Snow?
So I think MJF is so damn young. I think he'll stay in AEW 4 more years.
I don't think AEW is gonna be around 4 more years, but I
I think they will.
I see your sentiment.
Just because Tony Khan has the money, and it's not like he's like, I need the money. You know what I mean?
No, but I think that it was Bubba Ray, I think it was, and who's his partner in crime that on that podcast that he does.
Dave LaGreca. I
Yeah.
walked right. Yo, no, it was crazy. So I was at Mania last year, WrestleCon, saw Mark Henry. I was like, hey man, love you on Busted Open. Da-da-da-da. Great wrestling podcast. Walked right past Dave LaGreca. They looked at me. I looked at him. I was like, why the hell is this dude looking at me? And then I left the hotel, was walking to get some food. And I was like, damn, that was him. Oh,
Yeah, so he
was so
said
mad,
based
dude.
on what the WWE just did in the last 5 days, AEW has to step their game up or they're going to be done quick sooner rather than later. That's what they both said. I'm just going by what industry guys said. But yeah,
What do you
Raw
think
was
they need
kind
to
of
do?
mid last night. What's that?
What do you think AEW needs to do?
Hire a booker. Hire
Um,
a book and write stories.
what I think they need to do is stop worrying about what WWE does
Mhm.
and be their own brand.
Like
I
how it
think-
was when it first started?
Yes, when
Be
it was
like-
about
be like
wrestling, when it was about wrestling and not just scooping up guys that got laid off from WWE or left WWE. I mean, I'm okay with the 30,000 factions that they have, but at the end of the day, when the factions don't make sense anymore, where they're not even interesting anymore, where you're basically, it's like I saw like a faction that I mean, like the Don Callis family right now. That's like throwing water, like spitballs against the ceiling. Okay, whose name did it land on? Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah, bring him in. But we're not gonna give him a push. Um, like what they did with the whole MJF story, right? With making Adam Cole the devil, and then the three guys that he's with that were never anything. And when you AEW got to stop trying to make stars out of people that don't have star power.
They need to cut down the roster.
Adam Hangman Page, one of them.
They need to cut down the roster by half. They got too many people, too many factions, and they got to get
Stop screwing over Swerve.
Yeah,
guys that actually do something for the organization. Stop pushing Moxley like he's the greatest wrestler of all time.
Well, like he's Stone Cold 2.0 because that's what you're doing. You're acting like he's Stone Cold 2.0. He acting the same way.
I wonder if like the Mox push is because of this, right? I wonder if because we all know like that Tony Khan is a really nice guy, right? That's what everybody says. Great boss, great whatever. I wonder if he feels in debt to Mox just because he saved him when Punk had his issues. He saved him again when Young Bucks were suspended. Maybe he's like, well, I gotta keep on catering to him.
Right. I mean, and that's and you know what, that's commendable. But and Daniel Bryan being a great wrestler, I'm glad that they exposed that. They pushed that out there. But Claudio Casanova, as he was mid the whole time he was in WWE because he doesn't have that personality.
Yeah, he can wrestle.
In
But not on the mic.
AEW, in the Blackpool, I love what he does there. He's silent but deadly. He's like a bad fart, like silent but deadly. Sorry, I had to throw it
Yeah,
out
I was boy.
there.
I got some stories.
But like what's the other guy in that group? Yuta?
Yeah, that's supposed to be like the young dude, but
Dude, guy's amazing. Amazing talent in the ring. I don't want to listen to him talk. He's terrible. There's no development of those guys. When you got one thing down, develop the rest. To me, Daniel Bryan has both. Daniel Bryan, great in-ring talent, phenomenal on the microphone. Eddie Kingston, phenomenal on the microphone. But
Terrible
no,
wrestler.
he's a. I mean, he's a
Hardcore.
brute. He's a brute.
Yeah, hardcore wrestler.
He's a brute. He's Solo Sokoa with a personality. You know, Hangman Page, useless.
I can't stand
terrible.
Yeah, it's just,
I don't get it.
think-
I don't.
I don't see where the allure is for him. I said it from day one, and I know he's a Cody guy, and he's probably going to be in the WWE sooner rather than later. He was at WrestleMania both nights in Cody's box. Ricky Starks is garbage. He's okay in the ring, if anything, and he is a cheap knockoff of The Rock. It's disgusting to watch him sometimes.
I wish they would push MJF like WCW pushed Ric Flair. You get that one faction, that 4 horsemen kind of faction where he's the talker. You got Ole Anderson, you got the 2 bodyguards, and then you got a Telly from who's the young guy that's with
Wyndham.
The young guy that's with Guerrero.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara. Have Sammy
What
Guevara
if-
as your Blanchard. Have MJF as your Ric Flair, and they partying.
But they
What if? Wait,
I
they
see what
already
you're-
did that. It was called the
they
Pinnacle.
they already did that. But see, but
It was called the Pinnacle.
yeah,
It was them. It was
Pinnacle.
him, FTR. So you
Yep.
had your tag team, and
That-
it was
that
another
was-
dude.
That was when they with what's his name? God, y'all made me forget my boy. The
Sammy?
Lion Town.
Oh, Jericho. Yep. Yeah. So they were going against the inner
I'm
circle.
saying no, don't do it with do it with MJF.
No, it wasn't with Jericho. They
No,
were
no, no,
going
no.
against
They were
Jericho.
feuding against Jericho's group.
They were FTR was against Jericho's group.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
thought
it was FTR, MJF, and it was Wardlow.
Wardlow.
Wardlow was the
Wardlow.
So that was
See,
the Pinnacle.
The only reason I say no, what you're saying, Reese, is because does that not slap in the face of a 4 Horsemen that was so great? They're
Four
not going to do
Horsemen,
it.
Evolution.
Yeah, they're,
It looked like
It was the same as the 4 Horsemen. I'm saying, but
No. I'm
saying-
saying Evolution was similar to the Pinnacle,
yes.
and the Pinnacle tried to copy the Four
I'm saying
Horsemen.
they try to do it. Hey, I'm saying companies have tried to do it many times. Randy Orton had his own little like 4 Horsemen type faction when he had DiBiase
And,
and
Cody
look what
Evolution.
happened. And look what happened to that. And look what happened to that.
One's
But
in
I'm
jail.
saying I think
Right.
I
One's in
think
jail.
the
One's
difference
in jail. That's
I
crazy.
just think MJF can carry it because he's more like Flair.
I
He's
think
like,
I think MJF is stone cold to me. I'd like to, that lone rider that because he can't trust anybody. And now the shit would happen with Adam Cole. I wish MJF was not hurt because that would have made such a great storyline right away. They had that friendship, which was fucking hilarious. Some of the stuff that they did was just it was top notch. Like both of those guys are very good on the microphone. I don't get the whole Adam Cole allure thing. Ugh.
Going back to booking for AEW, I was thinking like they have people. They just put him in the wrong spot. Jay White
Right.
should be in the main event picture right now.
Switchblade, right? Switchblade, easily.
Yeah.
He kind of carried New Japan for like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So I mean,
Ospreay. They got Will Ospreay. So
yep, they got Osprey now.
Right.
Was it the other dude that's in the Don Callis?
the
family?
Chinese guy, he's with Don Callis.
Yep. Okada's there now. Like they
Okada,
have people. They need somebody with a pen, man.
Way too many people. Way too many big names. And
No direction.
and
no
that's
direction.
storyline.
And then they bring it. I'm sorry, and I know this will piss off probably people on this panel, but I'll stand by it. They bring in Sasha Banks.
I understand why.
Oh, I understand why as well.
Well, no,
She's
well,
a
I mean, more so, but not so much for star. Well, look, one star power. That's there. But also, since he was wrestling in Stardom in Japan, that kind of bridges
Right.
that together too. So it expands the
Girl
women's
division
division
is trash.
because the women's
I
division is
know.
trash.
They brought Sasha in because their girl division is trash. When they lost Jade, they lost a big part of their girl division.
Yeah, but looking at
Hey,
WWE, she
well, they
ain't
got
ready
nobody.
either.
Oh, she was man. She's.
So I saw her in the ring. I was like,
Okay, so Snow, did you hear his comment that was the best match of the weekend?
I like
what
it.
was?
That the women's that Bianca, Jade Cargill.
Did you watch it on mute? With a-
Best match of the weekend.
No, the best match was Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
that was
the best match of the
that
weekend.
was number 2. Sammy and Gunther was the second number 2.
Gunther's gonna be a monster heel in the world title scene.
Oh, it's gonna
That's
be
what
great.
I just
Bro,
said.
that's gonna be like
No.
dude from Rocky.
Let's not
Yo.
escape this Jade Cargill, Naomi, Bianca Belair being the best match of the weekend.
I
Snow.
thought it was a great match. I thought what the moves they were doing in that match, I was like, wow. That
He
was
said, "Did you watch it on mute?"
Y'all want to give all credit to old men running in the ring for that living. Whoa, look at this old guy come back.
Not like so. Okay, so
Wow,
Jade
throwing shade at West because he picked a different match than what you picked.
I'm just saying that John
crazy
Cena
classy
took
right
Uber
there.
and still got there late. John Cena was running down the railway.
Crazy
Oh,
classy.
yo, that main event, yo.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy, San Diego.
That main event was I hate that I wasn't there. But,
I thought the main event was great. I thought the main event was
I thought it was
I
fantastic.
thought the Sami Zayn match was great. I thought the what was another good? There was a lot of the Becky and Mommy match was great.
I like the Seth match as well as the
Seth
ending.
match. Yeah, the Seth match was awesome.
Seth never disappoints, yo.
No,
but that Roman chair shot to Seth, I'm like, payback.
Right. That was
small
poetry.
thing. I was like,
yep. It was the small things.
Okay, that's what I was saying, Snow. What would have been nice little payback is like Mick Foley come back and hit Rock with the chair shot after we know the story of his chair shot to Mick Foley.
You know what? That would have been perfect. But just like you said, with John Cena took forever. Mick Foley is not.
Yo, they would have had to bring Mick Foley down from the rafters.
He can't walk anymore.
Yo,
Mick Foley. Mick was his friend, so he wouldn't have had to run.
There you go, Wes.
Mick Foley would have got rolled out in a wheelchair with a nurse's aide.
He's doing comedy. He looks good.
Oxygen mask on.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about just him walking because he can't walk normal.
I'm saying he walked like cactus. He walked that bang, walking down there.
Broken hip.
That motherfucker like halfway down the ramp, he'd be like, 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. No, I thought it was great. Hey, so
you know what? Another thing I kind of noticed too. So back to the Jade match, right? So it's kind of interesting what they're doing with it, right? Because it was like, all right, Jade came over to WWE, and then they realized, yo, she's not ready yet, right? Because if you're brought in through AEW and you're new, you don't have house matches or house shows, and you're not on the road like that. So you can only, you're practicing, you're not getting that many ring reps. So what they did was kind of smooth. So it was a 6-woman tag, right?
Yep.
All veterans except for her.
All right.
They beat the tag title people, right? Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Yep.
So veterans right there. So what you could do, you could pair her with Naomi or pair her with Bianca, another veteran.
Oh, I think that'd be great.
Yep.
That'd be phenomenal.
Go for the tag belts, right? So you got 3 veterans and teaching her the whole time.
Wes, what did I say Saturday night?
Bring her up, and then they can have the feud later.
Wes, what did I say Saturday night? I said they should have got rid of Naomi, and it should have been Bianca and Jade against the Kabuki War for the belts, right? And then they join up with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. That's a faction right there.
That can still happen.
I know. Absolutely, I know.
That'd be nice.
They got that other broad though, in with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley got him a little side piece now.
B-Fab.
Yeah, she's a cutie pie.
We gotta stop. They gotta stop making factions with no storyline. They gotta stop. There's too many factions. Can everybody be in a gang war?
He says Ed says black girl lover. Ed Lover says black girl magic faction. Hey, I'd watch it. They're fine. Jade is. I'm telling you, if I don't know what it was, that line down from her forehead all the way down. I followed that line. I followed that line all the way down. That was beautiful.
Mitch is cooking.
We got to wrap. Man.
Just saying, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. She looks a little better. She has work to do. She has a lot of work to do. Because she's good on the microphone.
She'll get there.
She's really good on the microphone.
I'll say you bring her in Goldberg and smash her over.
And we'll end it on this. We'll end it on this. Samantha is the greatest ring announcer of all time.
Great job. And the emotion at the end, too?
Oh, that was phenomenal.
Perfect.
That was phenomenal.
Love Samantha.
She killed it. The way that she speaks, the way that she just everything, the way that she announces everything, she is magic. And yes, the emotion on that last match when she cried, I mean that was special. That was special. So anyway, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the NoMaam Nation, rocking it out, talking about everything. Next week, if you're on the show, if you're allowed back on the show, this is what we're doing. Right? Hey,
I'm serious. Hey,
someone feels guilty in
when I get home,
this room. I'm just saying, somebody feels guilty in this room. I didn't mention any names.
I want you to come outside.
Names.
Come outside. Come outside when I
I'll come outside. Bring it on. I didn't put it in your bump's ass.
Listen, them just fighting words.
Let's just get it out real quick.
Let's go.
Fighting words.
I'll meet you outside in 5 minutes. Let's go.
It's so funny. Them two are neighbors too.
I'm gonna TP your house, bitch.
I'm gonna give you a good birthday gift next week. I'm gonna give you a real good birthday gift.
If you come within 50 yards of my house, I will have you arrested.
Bro in the chat. What's good, bro?
What up, bro? So listen, next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over what we think our team is going to do, and what we think our team should do in the draft, in the NFL draft. That's a week after next. Next week, though, next Tuesday night is the beginning of the birthday celebration. I turn 51 next Wednesday.
That's it?
Your guy. Yeah, that's it. Fuck you too.
Come with your best Mitch moments. Come with your best Mitch moments.
Again, Wes, someone may not be here next week, so.
I got that.
I'm gonna tell you right.
You might not be.
You're gonna get roasted.
Mitch telling Reese, get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you, we're
Reese has CFS with CTE, with a side of CTE.
CTE is nasty.
We're gonna roast Mitch.
Hey, but before I go, listen, I gotta say this. Shout out to my man, bro. Bro, I watched you on the Bebop. If you haven't checked it out, if you're not following him on Twitch, on TikTok, it's B-Box Radio.
Dope interview.
Saturday night. Brobo was a guest on Miss Roxanne's show. Shout out to Roxanne and the whole B-Box Radio. Yo, fire. When I tell you their DJ is fire. Fucking fire. Debuted a song, new song, I said it earlier. MC Light and Big Daddy Kane. If you haven't heard it yet, go to Spotify. It's fire. But shout out to Bro. He told the world his story. Commend the man. I salute you, Captain, for sharing that with everybody. We'll have Bro up here. We're gonna get him up here. And this Saturday, thank you, Bro. He's gonna tell me what day. We don't know what time yet. He shared that with me earlier. But this Saturday, B-Box Radio, Bro got his first show. It's called 1v1 Bro versus the world. Right? Is it against the world or versus the world? I think it's versus the world. I made the logo. You think I'd fucking remember. So what happens when you turn 51, man? You start forgetting shit. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. on Twitch. B-Box Radio. Make sure you follow them. Get the notifications. Bro's first podcast. I promise you, Bro, I know I'll be there from NoMaam representing. So we got you, brother. We'll shout you out. We'll put you on the TikToks and everything as well. But every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you got your boys in the building. We always doing big things. Join the nation. Look, Put it out there, man. Tell everybody you know. Getting tired of this shit every fucking week, man. We need some new blood in here, man. We hit 330, kind of stagnant right now. I know we're in our off season or whatever, but we still represent with some good information.
Wait till the draft.
The draft, yeah, we gotta percolate it a little bit more. Put the
Pause.
word out there, people.
Pause.
I said percolating.
I'm not percolating.
Like coffee.
No,
Y'all
no.
some nasty people. Look,
No,
No,
you
no.
New York. You know,
all right,
you
so
know what that
listen.
means.
Listen, this is what we gotta do, people. Everybody you know. Everybody you know. If you got a side piece on the side, talk to her. Tell her to tell her peoples. Right? You see an old man walking down the street, talk to him. Say, hey, No Man Fantasy Podcast, Twitch, 9 p.m. every Tuesday night. Everybody you know, everyone you need to know, send them our way. We want people to join the nation. There's nothing that no one could do what we do. So shout out to the NoMaam Nation. Shout out to the barbershop people that love us. Shout out to the hair salons. Shout out to the dermatologist offices. Shout out to Starbucks. Shout out to the gas stations.
Shady Acres.
Shout out to Shady. Wes, I won't tell them what you told me tonight. I promise I won't. I won't share it with them.
Hey, shout out to Amazon for these boxing gloves I just bought. These sets of boxing gloves I just bought.
Yeah.
Mitch, be
I'm gonna
careful.
kick his ass, dude.
Mitch,
I'm
be
gonna
What
kick
is
his
that,
ass.
Fred?
Look, I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna break his face. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yo. Oh, that's hilarious.
Listen, no ma'am. Listen, no ma'am world. The guys on the panel, people in the chat. If Reese shows up next week with a black eye, don't blame me.
I need video footage.
I'm gonna kick his ass. Talking all this shit.
World star.
World star. Hey, I'm gonna have Lucas in the.
We gonna bring it.
Hey, hold on a second.
What the hell?
I got a set too. I'm gonna whoop your ass. You threatening me? Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? See, that's the problem with you Utes of America. You're about the violence, all right?
No, we like J.
You need
Cole.
to leave the elderly alone. That's what all I'm saying.
What? Who said what about J. Cole? Leave J. Cole alone, bro.
We gonna apologize. That's what we gonna do.
He still
Oh,
killed
yo.
Kendrick.
Oh yeah, he gonna apologize. Nah,
He still killed
hey,
Kendrick.
Dog, he lost.
I think so
He still
too.
killed Kendrick,
I think
bro.
so too, Drew.
And
He
I'm
still killed
pissed.
Kendrick.
Anyway,
I don't care. I'm pissed.
shout out to Wes.
I'm not.
Shout out to Snow. Shout out to Stino. I don't know what happened to Stino. His phone may have died. Shout out to Drew. Sup, Reese. Shout out to Reese for joining. Hey, shout out to Kirby. Hope you feel better, buddy. Shout out to Backdoor. I think he was stuck in Tampa. Shout out to Cinco Seis. But again, shout out to me. And then, by the way, for all you pieces of crap that joined later that did not join the No Ma'am bracket, screw you all. I won. I'm the champion. Screw you all. How about that?
That's cold blooded, man.
That is cold blooded. Because you belong to No Ma'am, sir. You're a No Ma'am founding member, and you didn't even sign up for the bracket.
I had a conflict of interest.
Bullshit. You had other brackets you were in.
I had
with
a
me.
conflict of interest.
Bullshit. You were in other brackets with me. What's your excuse, road boy? Nothing. What about you, snow
in my
person?
defense,
Oh, easy.
in
The
my
link
defense.
never worked, and I thought it was gonna fix it,
Yeah,
and then
the link never worked. That's my excuse.
Bullshit.
I'm not gonna triple down on that. In my defense, I didn't even do a bracket this year.
Yeah, I didn't do a bracket at all this year. Me and Drew really, I didn't really have a bracket done this year. And honestly, when I tell you the reason I didn't do it, you're gonna feel bad about yourself. So just let it go.
Well, I don't feel. I know what. Why? Why did you do a bracket?
Because me and my mom do brackets every year.
Well, shout out to mom. I know, hey, but shout out to mom. She was better at you at it anyway. That's why
She
you did it.
was, and she was. So I took a year off.
I love Mama McGriff. Shout out to my. Shout out. God bless always.
Rest in peace, baby.
Always.
Rest in peace to Mama.
Always good. Always good. But you know what? Horrible excuse.
I had to take a year off. I took a year off. I didn't feel it. I'm sorry. I didn't feel it.
You better take the rest of your career off because you garbage.
Okay. You keep making those CFS comments. I'm gonna be blamed.
You
for
have
knocking you out.
CFS, sir. Tonight,
I'm
you have
knocking you
wrestling CFS, sir. Yes,
Hey,
you have it.
out. It's almost 12. Let's roll.
You have wrestling CBS.
Let's roll with bad time.
I will see you at your house. I'm going to knock you out. One
Hey,
shot.
Discord is gonna be crazy. Join Discord because me and we gonna fight.
I'm not. I'm blocking you from everything.
Discord. Join Discord. Hey, join
Hey, yo,
Discord.
no. Unreal. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the nation. We love y'all. Peace out. Have a great night.